All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News. This is Goutopia. This is the Snort Report. And it's all brought to you by Snortbucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Hopefully you guys are doing well. And we are back with another broadcast. 5 videos that will make up that broadcast, all brought to us by Burnell. That's pretty much the ebb and flow. Yet again, still trying to catch up, and once we catch up, I will have stuff to say. Until then, we will keep all of the stuff that I have to say to the video in particular. So no chewing the fat with GTG at the moment, outside of, hopefully you guys are doing well. You know what I'm saying? So take care of yourselves out there and whatnot. I wish you and your families and everything the best, so on and so forth, and let's see if we can try to get you guys through your day as best as we can. That's about that. So let me go ahead and get all this squared away, and I'll see you guys in a second. Let's get to work.
Play the game!
I have to warn everyone. Warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
What you can do? Super score streaks, there's no way to come back from this. There's absolutely no way to come back. Wow, I aimed, fired, and it went to the left, even though I never even touched the thumbstick to go to the left. It went to the left anyway, so explain that. Stupid shit.
All right. More of that Goutopian Himalayan salt. Oh my god. Whoever's doing the mining out there is making a boatload. Just be careful, because I hear collapses do happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the first video that will make up our broadcast. Brought to us by Burnell, DSP. Let's see here. Confusing khet with Jasper. Streams are free. No paywalls here. Insulting the devs and no refunds. Or is that no refund for you? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Yeah, and no refund for you. Reminds me of that the soup guy from Seinfeld. That's based off a real character, but a real person. I should say not a character, but a real person. By the way, if you guys didn't know that, this was published on January 11th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. Expect to hear that 4 more times. Let's do it. Oh, I smell the bacon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to get the tipping started tonight, I received a tip from Brian Whitaker, who tipped me $25.
Holy shit. it's not just the fact that his aim is terrible. Like, he has no, what's the word I'm looking for? He has no battle sense. He has no instincts. He has nothing. Like, he plays every game and Miranda's around it and shit. Like the normal pig walloping in its own slop. That's it. It's the same shitty effort, you know, from game in, game out, game in, game out. You would think for someone who has played as long as he has, he would just have better instincts. He would have a better understanding of just what to do or what you're trying to accomplish. Watching Darkside Phil play games is literally like watching someone go through life and not have any goals. You know what I mean? Who has like no direction. Like they have no clue what they want to do and they're just doing it because they're expected to do it. At least that's just my opinion. And that might actually explain, ladies and gentlemen, why he's not very good at it. You know what I'm saying? He does this merely for the basic fact of making money and trying to be known for something on the back of something. But outside of that, he has no goals. He has no aspirations. He has no vision. He has no imagination. You know? He just does it because it's the only thing he can do, despite the fact that in actuality, he really can't do it. Amazing.
He didn't die! Oh my god, this gun, man. The gun sucks so bad unless the guy's directly in front of you with no cover. It just can't shoot straight. It sprays everywhere.
Oniony, salty aftertaste in my mouth.
Oh my god, I hit him a million times. Seriously, I hit him a million times and it fucking wouldn't die. You saw that, right? I fired straight, the target was on him. I zoom in, the target's to the left. Why didn't you just zoom in straight so I could fire at the target instead of zoomed in at the wrong direction? Okay. You know, I'm not on a keyboard and mouse, so the game has to do a little bit to help. What the fuck?
Like, why? Like right there, for example, why'd you take so long to shoot at him? And even if someone wanted to make the argument, oh, maybe he was just trying to confirm that wasn't a teammate or anything, what does he have to really lose if he is a teammate? It's not hardcore, so he's not going to kill him. You know what I mean? Every second counts. And for him, it's that statement times 100 because he's so bad at his gunfights. And I'm glad that he's hip firing more, but, you know, pump 3 or 4 bullets into them before you want to start aiming down sight. And more often than not, maybe you don't even need to be trying to aim down sight. Just hip fire them to throw their aim off and shit. And hope that the kill happens. Spray and pray is a thing. Here, let me see if I can show you that part I was talking about.
Okay. You know, I'm not on a keyboard and mouse, so the game has to do a little bit to help. What the fuck?
Right here. And what's taking you so long? That's at least 3 1,000. That's like 3 good seconds that he could have fired at that guy before he finally did it.
He was ahead, I zoomed in, and the auto-aim moved the aim out of the way of where he was, so I couldn't fucking hit him. That's the second time in 2 games. The auto-aim is fucking me over. And by the way, the frame rate is so bad right now. Yo, the frame rate is terrible. Look at this. This is like teens.
There's the salt. The delicious salt.
And someone should tell him to change the sensitivity. Sometimes someone needs to tell him to just readjust his screen. You can do that in Call of Duty. You can actually readjust your depth of field, I think is what it's called. He should do that. But yet again, it's situations like this. Like the moment he saw someone coming through that door, he should have just laid fire down. Don't wait. Look at where he's at now compared to the dude that's rushing in on him. I mean, the guy hasn't even really noticed him yet. But right now, like at this particular moment, in this moment of snorts, this guy should already have 4 or 5 bullets pumped into him. Before his second leg comes through the door entrance, he should be dead. Or dispatched or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Hurtful.
What? You saw how many bullets I put in him?
Now that was amazing, because Phil did hit him like 3 times, but he missed all the rest of his shots. So he hit him like once or twice when he came in, then he missed all the preceding shots. The guy ends up coming forward and then cutting back to the side, takes one more shot, and Phil gets killed. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. And Snort Burnell's right. It's one, he should be wearing glasses because he should be wearing them. I don't know if he thinks because he's a nerd, or that makes him look like a nerd, I should say. I don't know if it's because he thinks he's not old enough that he shouldn't have to wear glasses. I don't know what type of tarred shit that's going through his head at the moment as it pertains to that. But he's only worsening his situation by not doing what he needs to do. But that right there could be said in a lot of facets of Darkside Phil's life. Womp womp.
Jacket on, so the jacket protects him. No, it doesn't protect him from that many bullets hitting him. He'd still be dead. I don't care if he's wearing a fucking tank armor, he'd be dead. Fucking ridiculous nonsense.
Salty. Very salty, because everything in here salty.
Remind me, please. Someone remind me when I start streaming, right? To start an Archer soundboard. I love Archer. So we'll go. So that's what the soundboard of choice is going to be. That and Frisky Dingo. That'll work too. Maybe a little bit of South Park. Yeah, but mainly Archer. Because a lot of that shit unironically applies to Darkside Phil. Like a lot of the blunders and shit, you could pose it to him. Also, Married with Children. I'm gonna do that too because there's some funny shit that's always said in that show. Some of that shit could be applied here and just further the laughter. So why not?
So if you're okay with salt or sodium overload, you'll probably like this.
There was nothing you could do. They have UAV. He knew I was there. He was firing before I was even fucking ready to do anything. This is garbage. Again, dude, come on. This is not fair, man. This is not even close to being fair. Reflex, mate. That was a headshot. Are you kidding me? I was zoomed in completely on his head, and then when I fired, it said I was to the left. Like, what? No, I was zoomed in on his fucking head when I fired the trigger. And then it changed it afterward. Dude, this is not... Dude, again, we still don't have a full team either. Stupid game, man.
Worst player on my team, by far. I don't know what to say.
Leader of the Hate Army cheered to war isn't fair. Stop whining, soldier. Absolutely not. I will whine all night. Hello, amazing GT23. So how are you? And how are Cat and Jasper? I'm good. I've been having fun this weekend with Twitch Gaming for sure. Streams have been great.
Cat is right behind... excuse me, Cat. Jasper is right behind the entertainment center.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same guy that on multiple occasions has mistaken his mother for Cat, or let's reword that, has called Catherine his mom. Make of that what you will. Anyway, maybe we have an idea of what he was watching on Pornhub that time. Anyway, but back to it. I like how he decided to say how he was doing first, instead of like how Catherine and Jasper were. Because most people, if you were like, hey, you know, how are you and the fam doing? They're usually like, yeah, man, the family's doing great and everything and so on and so forth. No, I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. Most people would usually, you know, put their families first. But not Darkside Phil, though. Not Goutopia. We don't do that. not at all. And that's why, yet again, we call our wife Mom, and apparently we call Jasper Cat. Mr. Jasper Kitty is now just Cat. And we don't claim him on our taxes either. Or no, not our taxes, on our bankruptcy. We don't do that either because that's not significant enough apparently.
I can see him right now.
Cat is at work frustrated, but tonight's her last work night of the weekend, so she's happy because after this she gets a few days off.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin.
And I'm pretty sure Cat is not fitting behind the entertainment center.
Oh, you know what would have been a good clip that Snort Burnell has? I know someone knows what I'm talking about. You know that clip where Phil's drinking what is that shit called? He's drinking a Mountain Dew Kickstarter, and he's like, Cat cooked like her ass off yesterday. Cooked a bunch yesterday, so today she's, you know, doing whatever she wants. Or no, he says, Cat's in the shower, but she cooked a bunch yesterday, so now she can take today off and do whatever the fuck she wants. Does anybody remember that clip? I mean, I'm usually not one to critique where Snort Burnell puts their clips at, because trust me, they got it figured out, so they know what they're doing. But that would have been a good place to put that clip. That would have been a real good place to put it.
Very tight fit for a human. She'd be very contorted back there.
What? No one is in the street. Where's my fucking team? What are you idiots doing? Get out there and shoot the motherfuckers so they can't get these safe spots. What are you, dumb? Bullshit, it's not even possible. Oh, because it's, okay. Oh, sniper rifle quickscope. That's what it was. Sniper rifle quickscope, bitch.
It's salty as fuck. It's like pure salt. All you could taste was salt. You couldn't taste anything else.
You saw that, right? So it was way too running faster than you should have been able to. There was no way for me to change a shot on the motherfucker. Yeah, this is a terrible match to join. Fuck this. I'm not gonna waste my time on it.
He rage quit! He rage quit! Oh my god, he rage quit! Are you fucking serious?
Joining a match in progress, they're more than 100% passing what your scores are, and they're already on top of your spawns. Nope. Nope. I pass. I will wait. I'll wait for a good match. I wait for a good match. I was like, he's literally running at the speed of light. He's like the flag. Like, what? Obviously the connection's fucked up. There's no way you can run that fast.
I'm getting older. My reactions are getting slower. I suck.
Oh no. Fucking shit.
So thank you, Jackalese, for that very generous tip. Hitting the first tip reward of the night. Remember, if we hit $100 of tips tonight, I'll put on a vest of your choice. The choices tonight are beige, blue, camo, and gray, because we wore the platinum and the red yesterday. And it would be very nice if we did hit it, so because we didn't hit a tip skull earlier today. I would appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, but why are we still putting a stipulation on what vests they can vote on? If you hit the vest goal, just let them choose whatever the fuck they want. That was one of the aspects that ended up killing the vest streak the first time around. Is he wanted to control what vest could be worn and what couldn't, and he still hasn't learned. Fucking tard. Jesus Christ. Like, do you not... real talk. Like, real talk for just a second. I've said this to you guys before. Everything he touches turns to shit. Right? And he's been begging... The intensity of his begging has been amplified by a lot as of late. Why the fuck is he going out of his way to mess up a good thing? Now, don't be wrong, and I've said this as well. Even though he's greedy as shit, and trust me, he is. His greed is intense. You know what I'm saying? It's massively strong. There's no self-control there whatsoever. His ego's even bigger. Is it really fucking worth having this little bit of control of what vests they can choose or they can vote on, right? Over obtaining the $100 to get the vest. Does that really make sense? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you really, really think about it, does that really make sense? You have something that for whatever reason works. Kinda. Somewhat works. Why would you want to fuck it up by taking the choice away from people on what vest they can choose? Just let them choose their damn vest, put the damn thing on, get laughed at by us, and move the fuck on with your day. And snort all the way to WWE Champions time. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit isn't difficult. It's really not. Just go with it. You don't have a choice. You need the money. Right? You need the money. So who gives a fuck what a bunch of people are laughing at? You have the cash. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So he will sit here and say that he's not a corporate shill, he's not a sellout, he's none of these things, right? He's not a clown like the rest of these people, he's not a Muppet and all that. Despite the fact that he does Muppet clown shit daily to try to hit this tips goal. And instead of just enjoying the payoff, put whatever the fuck these people on and that's it, he feels like, I'm just assuming here, he feels like that, oh, I had to humiliate myself to get the money out of you. I get to dictate what essentially I get to put on. It's not worth it. If you've humiliated yourself to this point, you might as well go all the way. It doesn't change the narrative about you in any type of way, shape, or form. A clown's still going to be a clown. A pig is still going to snort. What's the problem?
Tiger.
The sticky went over his head, of course it did. Yeah, it's a terrible game. There's no reason for me to play it.
Whoa, that guy quit. That guy rage quit. He said, fuck this, and he rage quit the game. He actually rage quit the game.
I start again. They're 50% ahead of us. Seriously. 50 fucking percent ahead of us. 50. And spawn dead. Fuck that. Nope. I'm not even gonna waste a minute on that match. I'm seriously not gonna waste a single minute on that fucking match. It's that bad. Oh, no. Nope. Seize the objectives. Nope. Not only is it a map I don't want, it's the fucking domination middle of a match. Fuck that.
By the way, he rage quit. He literally rage quit.
Get doing naughty. Oh, look, we're only down. Are you shitting me? Look at this record that they just put me into.
Oh, rage quit. We got a rage quit, baby. And he quit. Like the bitch he is. Rage quit.
Okay, hold on a second. Didn't I already do a broadcast where he rage quitted like 4 games in a row? Or he quit like 4 games in a stream? Let me take a look really, really fast. Excuse me for just a second. Let's see here. Because he's at 3 right now. So he's almost matching his... Yeah, I did. Let's see here. DSP 4 rage quits, one mature bozo. That was published by Snort Burnell on the 4th of January. So he's about to match that. He's about to match that right now. Oh boy. All right, let's see if we can at least match it.
Can I get a fair match, please? Yes, starting 25 kills under. What the fuck? Are you out of your mind?
That was very salty. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of salt, but...
You saw that? He went one way, the other way, and it chopped the entire time. There was no way to get a shot on him. There was no way to get a shot on that guy at all. It was completely lagged out. Are you kidding me? What a valid way to start the match. And by the way, we're 0-4 already. 0-4. What is... Fuck this, dude. No. Instant death again? Go fuck yourself.
Alright, there we go. There's 4. Let's see if we can go for 5.
Boyd. Oh my god, he rage quit. The motherfucker rage quit. What a little bitch. What a little fucking bitch to quit like that, man. Come on. That's just ridiculous.
The connection's terrible. The connection is terrible. I'm not going to waste time on it. I'm not going to play a laggy fucking match. It's a waste of time. It's a complete waste of my time. I waited for that match to start. It's still a laggy fucking mess. Jasper, what did I say? Stop it, man. Jasper, do not fight this wire, or I'm going to spray you. Stop it, man. Don't do it. Look at this. Look at this fucking match. 19 to 80. 19 to 80.
And then dude, it's the same guy. He rage quit again. I made him rage quit again.
19 to 80. They want me to play that
Does anybody want to go ahead and wager on how many we're gonna end up getting to in this? We're at 5 so far, and we still got a good amount of time. I'm gonna say there's 3 more, so I'm gonna say 8. I'm gonna just go ahead and say 8 because he looks pretty comfortable with doing it. So let's see where it leads us.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin.
Jasper, what did I just say? That's it. You're gonna get sprayed, man. You can't chew the wire. Ugh.
He does. I'm not gonna front. Snort Burnell's right. He does sound like a drunken father. He really do. Trying to treat Jasper like the proverbial redhead stepchild. That's exactly what that shit sounds like. Very, very abusive behavior. Oh, hurtful. Just hurtful.
Yo, it's impossible! It's impossible, he was invisible. The game is full of shit. It's letting the quickscoper get kills he's not earning. Because he's not visible on our screens.
Look at that! No, we're bringing that back. We bringing that back. Oh my god. Okay. We're bringing that back. Holy shit.
It's letting the quickscoper get kills he's not earning. Because he's not visible on our screens.
Okay, come up. This guy, he should have already, right before he even got to this little rock piece here, he should have been already laying shots at this guy. Like, he should have been already laying shots at this guy. And this is one of the reasons why they say, don't run around mindlessly on Call of Duty maps, especially open ones, because you never know when you're going to fall into a gunfight. You really shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Take your time, move amongst cover. He should already have bullets in this guy right now. The guy shouldn't exactly be dead at the moment, but he should already have bullets flying into this dude. Jesus Christ. And then he ends up slingshotting his gun all the way to the left for some reason, and then shoots up. I don't know. I assume that thumbstick has seen better days. I can only assume.
Dude,
screen, you saw what happened. He was right in front of me. I go to aim, all of a sudden, the game chops up. I can't tell where anyone is, and I'm instantly dead. He was right in front of me. All I wanted to do was aim and fire. Wouldn't even let me do that. What is going on, man? I saw him, but there was nothing I could do about it. Again, it's just instant death no matter what. I'm just gonna quit. Fuck this.
Did he just rage
Okay,
quit?
we're at 6. We might hit 8. We might hit 8.
Did he seriously rage quit? He fucking rage quit.
Wasting my time again on a laggy ass fucking match. Seriously, we're just wasting my time on lag. Lag. Well, then why am I playing? I told you guys I don't know if I'm gonna stick around anymore. The first half of the night, the whole first hour was great. The whole first hour I played tonight, I got good connections, and I'm getting kill streaks and everything. Now every match is full of lag. Every fucking match is full of lag. So why am I playing?
It's very salty, but it also has this like sour flavor to it. It does. I've got this aftertaste in my mouth. Ugh. That just, it's not going away. It's a lingering saltiness in my mouth that is just not very pleasant.
Look at the lag. Oh my god, the frame rate, dude. It's unplayable. It's seriously unplayable frame rate and lag. I'm so frustrated. How can I have a first hour of
This is
gameplay?
literally turning into Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? There's no lag, there's no delay, at least from what you see here and whatnot. Like, either his eyesight is worse than we are surmising, or yet again, he's trying to use Street Fighter tactics on Call of Duty as his excuse. And that's just sad too. Because yet again, if it's really this bad, why are you playing? Just play something else. Just play Street Fighter. That's what you should be doing anyway. Play more Street Fighter.
So different from the second hour of gameplay. Seriously, how could it be such a dramatically different experience? The same fucking game. Alright. Quit out of the fucking match. I don't even care.
You've got to be
Okay,
joking.
all we need is just one more, boys and girls, and we're in it. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can get one more out of it, we're in it. We are in it.
Another rage quit. Another one. Another rage quit.
I'm gonna reboot the game completely, alright? I don't even care. I'm gonna reboot the whole game. Maybe it'll start running better, but you see how choppy it is now. Like, every match is like this now. I look down the sights, oh, lag. I can't even fucking aim. Leader of the hate army, you should shut the fuck up. Yes, there's tons of lag. You can see the choppiness of the game every time I get into a firefight. So, shut up. Trying to piss me off is what he's doing. Oh, if I keep cheering small cheers with annoying messages, he'll have to read them, and then I can piss him off all night and I get attention for myself. How about you fucking lick my ass? If you do it again, I'm gonna ban you.
Oh! Ugh.
Oh my god. Why play? Again, why play? And it's an idiot. It's a slow reaction time from Agent Phil. Did you see the first hour of gameplay tonight? I was ridiculously dominating every fucking match. I got like a 44-16 match. I got multiple attack choppers. It's not me. It's the game is lagging now, and it wasn't doing this earlier. It had no problems at all. Now, everything I do is monstrously delayed. That's it. People want to forget. Like, they're so dumb. Phil's not good at anything.
You know, it's kind of funny. If you think about it, from a practical standpoint, he may have just had a fluke game, or he may have just had a better connection than everybody else in that game that he referred to that he was dominating in. And now that everything's kind of settled back to, let's reword that. Now that everything is back the way it should be, now all of a sudden it's lag. Oh my God, the connections are terrible. Oh my God, this, that, and the third. It's almost like that 4th place finish at EVO all over again. You had a fluke. You had one situation. The universe balanced itself back out. And then all of a sudden, we all saw you for what you really were. Make of that what you will. Galtopia is a strange place.
Even though there's tournament results, he's not good at Call of Duty. I guess you ignored the whole first hour of the fucking stream tonight, stupid. Really? Did you watch your fucking eyes closed? Because obviously I was doing really good.
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic.
Yet again, he should have already had bullets going down range on that guy. His hesitation is fucking amazing. His hesitation is absolutely amazing. I don't know if he's scared or what. Okay. I don't know if he's scared or what. I don't understand. Or as I've said, as many people have said, to be honest with you, there's some type of delay from what he sees and how that information correlates to the rest of them. Let's reword that. I mean, no, that's theoretically how it went, to be honest. There is some type of delay. There's some type of mental delay between what he sees and how he can actually react to what he sees. You know what I'm saying? Like until or for the action that comes after that. There's certainly some type of delay. I'm sure there's someone else who could articulate that better, but that's either that or he's scared or he's hesitant or what. I don't get it. The only repercussion is they kill you. You know what I'm saying? In a video game, of course. Let me make sure I clarify that. So you're not losing anything. But this type of hesitation in real life is what gets people killed. So it's a good thing that he didn't go into the military or become a cop or nothing. Because that'd have been unnecessary.
Shit.
And actually, now that I think about it, we should all, and I mean this when I say this, I'm not trying to joke around or nothing. We should all be very, very grateful this man doesn't own a gun. We really, really shouldn't. Because that's how people accidentally get killed. You know what I'm saying? Cat walks in from a late night of whatever and whatnot. Phil is already paranoid because these trolls ain't got his ass riled up. And then, that's when the worst happens.
Bullshit. Should have shot him in the fucking face. Why did it miss?
Oh my god. Well, guys, I don't know. I might call it quit soon. I'm frustrated at the game. And let's face it, contributions have dried up at this point.
Oh, wow. Well, before that happens, make sure we get that number 8. We're at number 7. You're almost there. And then if you want to wage quit it and rage quit, fine. But make sure we get to number 8 at the very least. But say if not, then I'm gonna have to start giving out free coffee again, and we're so close. We're so close.
One more match. We'll see how it goes, and this might be the last match of the night. We'll see. Just so frustrated and so stupid because I did so well on the first half of the stream. The first half of the stream, if you watch, I was dominating every match.
And then all of a sudden, lag. So.
No, that's what I mean. It's not about people coming in and be like, man, I have to drop $100 on Phil. It's never been about that. It's about a few people, you can come and give a couple bucks, whatever they can afford. That's how I crowdfund my living. That's how it works, guys. It's not a big deal if you can't come in here and save the day with a Hail Mary tip. I hope you guys understand that, okay?
That's why the streams are free. 100% free and always will be.
Yeah, no. See, here's the problem with that statement. He's not expecting you guys to come in and give Hail Mary tips. But he does expect you guys to give something. And that is pretty much what he said. No, he doesn't expect all of you guys to be Captain Save-A-Hose. That's what he has whales for. But he does expect you guys to come in and give a little bit. To give something. That's what he's saying.
No paywall here. Oh my god, he's drinking gin. That's actually not true. Tonight was not only 3 people tipping. There was actually a bunch of people who tipped tonight.
Alright, I'll do one more game and that'll be it for the night, guys. So last chance if anyone wants to contribute, please do. Alright, I appreciate it. Thank you to those who did tonight. Okay.
I e-bag, right? You're constantly asking your viewers and your fans for contribution.
I think the wall's dead, Phil.
How's he not dead? It's not even possible. It's not possible. I'm hitting him 6 to 9 times in the head, and he's not going down. I tell you, it's the game. It's the connection's
You're delusional. First off, I think just if your crosshairs comes over the player, then their name and their health bar will come up. Out of that whole exchange, he may have only hit that guy like twice, and that's certainly not going to be enough to bring him down. There's no way he's that delusional because he had like at least 4 blatant shots that hit nothing but wall. And it's very, very clear of that. This guy's a nut.
Fuck this. Fuck fucking piece of garbage game.
Yes! Yes! We got that 8. Feeling like Tiger Woods right now. Yeah! Anyway, you don't have, does he not have any grenades or flashbangs or something? Like, toss a couple of those out to lure them out or some shit, or at least incapacitate them until you could close the distance. Don't just stand there and mindlessly shoot. I don't care though now. I got my 8 rage quits. We good. And we essentially got a wage quit out of it too. So, I mean, we're cool no matter what, but goddamn, dude. It's so good. It's so good.
This is Rage Quitter. This is the fucking Rage Quitter right here.
It's Gart. He's standing right there with his head exposed. 3, 6, 9 hits. Doesn't die. Fuck you. Fuck you, Treyarch. Really, fuck you. You fucking hack motherfuckers. You suck. The worst hit detection. The worst hit detection. There's a piece of metal. I'm just gonna spray like this around the metal, and the game will say the bullets are going through it and hitting the enemies coming through the door. What the fuck is wrong with them? Seriously.
Oh, you're getting salt, 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 salt. It's, oh, even now, again, my mouth overpowered with salt flavor.
That is terrible gameplay. That is awful. Completely illegitimate, non-competitive gameplay. Dumb fucks. Yikes. I'm taking these off. Fuck this. I'm so angry. Fuck this.
Fuck this. I'm done. Fuck this game.
And then he rage quit. He rage quits like a bitch. Great player.
What a disappointing night. Seriously. A night where
I'm
half the game's
surprised that
available.
he even went for, I'm surprised he even played again after that. So, 9 rage quits, not bad. But I'm surprised he even played another match. He should have finished it after the last one. Quit while your snorts are ahead.
Completely terrible. These invisible enemies killing me. They're completely invisible, not on the screen. Then it's just a kill cam. Oh, see, they have a perfect shot at you. Where were they? I was staring at the open corridor. There's no one there. I die. Such trash, dude. Well, I tried, guys.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin. Thank you to those who did actually support me tonight.
Guys, I keep telling you I didn't get a fucking refund. Oh, wait, it's PS4. Wait, but I didn't get a refund. It's locked and I didn't get a refund. I swear to God, I didn't get a refund. I never got a refund.
I mean,
It's
the
locked.
refund wasn't going to be instant anyway, so it was going to take a couple days to fucking process. Why are you bitching about it? And to be honest, he's playing the system anyway. Meaning that he already played the game and beat it, right? As far as I know. And then he wants to demand a refund because everybody's demanding a refund, and CD Projekt Red is going to, or Sony I should say, is going to give a universal refund across the board. But he didn't have the major game-breaking problems that other people did. And the patch was going to come out for PSN around in a little while anyway. What's the big deal? And he's probably going to end up buying the game again anyway, right? So what's the point? I mean, unless like what most people are thinking, when the patch comes through, the game is probably going to drop in price anyway. So I would say maybe that's what he's doing. I don't think he's able of thinking that far ahead, but it's possible. So essentially, he got the game for free, and now you're going to bitch about a refund that you really don't deserve because you weren't impacted at the same severity as other people. Whatever.
I didn't get a refund. I didn't get my money back. I never got it. I didn't get any money back. I swear to God. And I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember how I bought it. Check the wallet balance. I mean, maybe you think they put the money into my virtual wallet, maybe? I don't even know how to check that on here.
So wait a second. So this idiot doesn't even know how he actually paid for the game. So how do you know you didn't get a refund? You don't even know what the method of payment was. Were they supposed to send you a big ass apology letter from CD Projekt Red and Sony saying, "We're sorry, Darkside Phil, that, you know, yada 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 yada. Here's your refund"? I kind of almost expect him to say that. Let's see if he does.
Well, apparently they did refund it, even though I didn't get any money back. I didn't get my money back for it. So, wallet, 0. Yeah, they didn't give me my money back. They locked the game and didn't give me my money back. Because I didn't get any refund. It would either come out of my PayPal, in which case it would be back in my PayPal, which it's not. Or they would have given me, I got no money back. They actually took the game back and didn't refund me.
This is 100% karmic justice.
It tastes like justice.
they took the game back and didn't refund me. Doesn't make any sense. How the Rock says, maybe they track game progress and denied you because you finished the game. Then why is my game locked? It's either I get my money back and they lock the game, or I keep the game. Not they lock the game and then I can't play it and they don't give me my money back. Because they didn't. I didn't get any money back from them. I got nothing. So they fucked me. I think they fucked me. I genuinely believe they fucked me. They took the game back and didn't fucking give me money. B6 says maybe it locks the game, just takes 3 to 5 business days to return the money. That would be incredibly stupid, don't you think? Yeah, I never got any notice because you would have thought if they were going to refund it.
Why would that be
right?
stupid? Then why do you think they would instantaneously give you your money back? That doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense for them to verify that you have the game, you do have it, lock it, and then put the notice, and then send basically move your case down to whoever their financial department is at Sony, saying yes, he purchased the game, get ready to process his refund, which would take about 7 to 10 business days, give or take, to do so. And more importantly, why would it go back to your PayPal account if, more than likely, if he bought it through his wallet, it's just going to go back there? I don't know why he thinks it would go back to his PayPal. I don't see why he would even need to. Why would Sony put themselves through that nonsense when it's easier just to send the credits back to your PSN account? So, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of locks you in for having to spend it on their platform. Like I said, I guess it's all in the method of how he paid for it.
There would have been some notice. I would have got an email from Sony or a message from Sony, and I didn't get anything. Excuse me. Yeah, and I don't know how do you get messages on this fucking thing. I have no idea where your messages are. Profile? I doubt it. No. I don't know where your inbox is, so I don't know if Sony would have sent me a message. I didn't get it, but it's funny, the game's locked. Good thing I beat it. Right? Good thing I beat it. And guess what? Since they didn't refund me, guess what? I ain't rebuying it. Fuck them. I'm just never playing it again. Even if they fix it, I'm just never playing the game ever again. There's no way I'm rebuying that. There's absolutely no way I'm rebuying that. So, I got fucked
Now,
over.
what a spiteful little fuck we got here, ladies and gentlemen. He bought the game. Actually, he didn't buy the game, if you think about it. Other people basically gave him the money to buy the game. He played the game, got a bunch of donations and everything for it, put that shit on YouTube to get ad revenue, beat the game, tried to go ahead and say, hey, the game was garbage, give me my refund back. He's going to eventually get it back because the game is locked, obviously. And now he's going to say, oh, I'm never going to buy it again. I'm not going to play it again because they fucked me. Despite the fact that he ain't profited off of this game like 4 or 5 times over. Wow. Oh my God. A scumbag he is, indeed.
Burn in hell, Burnell. And I'm going to burn in hell for the rest of eternity because of it. You can't change who you are, I guess. Hell is a place where it's very hot. There's, it's torturous conditions. Fire, hail, brimstone. Your body is being ripped apart by demons who are shoving red hot pokers up your rectum. Not a nice place.
I don't know. The way he talks about ass play, it doesn't sound like having stuff shoved up that would really bother him much. In truth, ladies and gentlemen, hell for Darkside Phil is being broke, being alone, and being forgotten. That's what hell is for Darkside Phil. Everything that he values financially, he wouldn't have. Being forgotten, I think, scares him more than being broke. To be honest with you, because whether you remember Darkside Phil in a good way, a bad way, or otherwise, you still remember him. For him to lose that, I think would hurt him more than anything, and whatnot. But certainly, and definitely being broke, for sure. Because look at how he acts right now when people don't acknowledge what he says on Twitter. He freaks the fuck out. Just imagine if people ignored him across the board. Yikes. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is truly what piggy hell is.
Okay. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict.
Oh boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our first music break. And I will see you guys for the second video of our broadcast. See you guys in just a second. Wow. Just wow.
AC right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
Now, last night, when I was playing Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, I got some criticism. Alright? I think people
Yeah,
are
you
kind
should
of...
have. You rage quit 9 fucking times. We just saw that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the second video that will make up our broadcast, brought to us by Snort Burnell, DSP. Let's see here. Reasons to keep playing COD despite whining. Let's see here. Begging for tips after getting around 176 subs. You don't say. Interesting. Let's see. This was published on, yet again, January 11th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. 171 subs. Wow. I mean, begging might be rather pathetic, but apparently it can be lucrative, at least for some people. Not really. Now I think about it, because, like, okay, 171 subs or whatever the case may be. Hold on, let me take a look real fast. Let me refer back to my notes. 176 subs, I'm sorry. I mean, I know that might seem like a lot, but that's not. If it was like 576 subs, then maybe that'd be different, but he's essentially begging for chump change at this point. Here we go. Oh, that's tragically hilarious.
Off base here. So allow me to just very quickly address the criticism I got last night. When I played Black Ops Cold War, alright? Basically, people are like, you know, you complain so much about the servers. Why do you keep playing this game? Okay? Alright, fair enough. When I play Black Ops Cold War, what I would say at this point, it's probably about 60 to 70% of the time, the connections are decent, playable. And then about 30% of the time, even though it's very hard to tell just by watching, they're not. The servers are terrible. I'll be shooting enemies a million times, and it won't register. The game will act like I never even hit them, which makes no fucking sense. Or the game will show me blatantly shooting someone a million times. It won't work for some odd reason. I'll die. And then you watch the kill cam, and on the kill cam it'll be like, oh, you never shot the person. They shot you. And you're like, what? Like, what is that? Right? Like, how can you say that's a competitive game? Right? And so I'm very harsh. I harshly criticize the game. Now, I've told you guys a million times, the reason that I feel I'm still here today and I'm still pertinent is because I can tell you guys my honest feelings and criticisms about these games. I don't have to pull punches, right? I'm not sponsored by anyone. I don't have to kiss Black Ops Cold War's ass and be like, oh, yeah, the new Call of Duty, it's so great. I don't have to do that, okay? So when I'm playing the game, I can honestly be honest with you about my gameplay experiences with it.
Okay,
right?
but that doesn't mean fuck wad to anything. First off and foremost, just because you don't have to, basically what he's trying to say is he has to take the knee to Activision and say that they put out a great product and, you know, all that nonsense, doesn't mean that the product that you are putting out can't be entertaining. No one gives a rat's ass about your fucking honesty, dude. If that's the case, if that's the case, then do a vlog talking about that shit. Outside of that, they came there for gameplay. And you bitching and complaining and rage quitting multiple times doesn't help. And it doesn't do much. That's the reason why the Call of Duty community fucking edits their gameplays and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or when they do, or when they'll have their live streams, but then when they cut their live stream up and put it on the YouTube, that's why they edit all the bullshit out. Maybe the rage part, but they edit it in a such a, or they edit it a certain type of way to make it entertaining. Period. As it pertains to his live streaming and all his crying and complaining, that doesn't mean jack shit for jack shit. No one gives a fuck about how honest you are. You're a salty bitch. You're a whiny salty bitch. That's all that is. You're literally whining for the sake of whining, and that's not entertaining after a while. It just becomes obnoxious. You know what I mean? It's shitty. It really is. And the fact that you're taking criticism after you rage quit 9 different times. 9. He beat my expectation by 1. 9 different times just shows how weak of a personality that you are. No one gives a fuck about your honesty, dude. They really don't. Just like this whole thing about I'm not a corporate shill, I'm not this, I'm not that. No, it means you don't know how to do business. It's funny how begging the audience is business. That's not crowdfunding, that's business. But going ahead and doing a deal with this company over here that's going to pay me, over the life of our contract $10,000 is being a shill? What sense does that make? So be a laughingstock and an e-beggar on the internet, or doing this deal with this one company and making 10 grand. I don't understand. Because what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, isn't crowdfunding. It's begging. Pure and simple. Because you see it now that people really don't donate money to him unless he comes out with some type of sense of urgency. They have to be prompt, if you will. If not, they're sitting back and they're just chilling and they're trolling. And from what I'm being told, the trolling has really ramped up. And the trolling is coming from his own audience. There is no outside factors really doing that. That should tell you something. That should tell him something. You should always strive to try to do good business. And to do good business is to go ahead and take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you. If you feel that works against your interest or your brand, then so be it. If you're somebody, if you will, hypothetical Pignos is our favorite game. If you're someone who has to beg for grocery money daily, maybe you need to go ahead and really branch out and look at your options. And maybe at that point, you should come to the realization that beggars can't be choosers. And I'll leave it at that.
Streamers would not do that. They would just sit there and ignore it, or pretend like it didn't happen, or tell you the game's great so you'll continue to watch their streams of it. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's 2008. When I started on YouTube, that's who I've been. The honest guy.
Alright? That game has bad server performance. The connections are not great all the time. And it's very frustrating for a game that's supposed to be competitive. How is it that one match, I get 40, 50 kills, only like 10 deaths, and then the next match, I can't even get a positive kill-death ratio at all? And it's not that I'm not shooting people, it's that it doesn't register. It's fucking stupid. Okay? So, you might say to yourself, if this is the case, why do I keep playing the game? Alright? I'll tell you why. There's two reasons why I keep playing the game. The first reason is because I enjoy competitive first-person shooters, and there hasn't been a good one, in my opinion, in a while. The last two Call of Duties have been very disappointing. The last Call of Duty that I actually enjoyed playing, like, at length was World War II, and that was, what, 3-4 years ago? Both Modern Warfare and Black Ops 4, I did not like the multiplayer of it all. So I pretty much played it for a little bit, then skipped it, and that was the end of it. This is really the only first-person shooter right now.
That's not true either. Well, he may have not liked the multiplayer, but I think with Black Ops 4, with Black Ops 4, he was playing the Battle Royale, remember? He was hiding in the bathrooms and shit, and that's how he was getting his little wins. You know what I'm saying? They're few and far between, but he does have some wins. That was probably the most successful Call of Duty that he's done in recent years. So that's not true at all. Matter of fact, that right there opened up the discussion on why he even stopped playing Black Ops 4 if all of the Call of Duties that preceded it, that came after it, went ahead and were so bad. It didn't make no sense. You could always go back and play Black Ops 4. There was nothing preventing him from doing it. So, yet again, what is he talking about? And he says he enjoys the experience, but you clearly don't. Especially if the money ain't right. And then when you hear his complaints, it's like, you sound like you're just punishing yourself for what? Is this supposed to be the rage that everybody's supposed to enjoy? It's not worth paying for. It's certainly worth laughing at. I will give you that one for sure, but it's not worth paying for. Just to put it out there.
Really pertinent. You know what I mean? For me, I want to play a first-person shooter. This is the only one pretty much that's pertinent right now, that's newer, okay? The other thing is, the reason that I keep playing it is pretty much the same reason that I keep playing Street Fighter every week, alright? I acknowledge that the Street Fighter collection also is not the best online experience. In fact, it has a lot of shortcomings. But, if you look back 10 years ago, or more, actually it was back 2009, right? One of the reasons that I got popularity originally on the internet with YouTube was because I played competitive online games, namely Street Fighter 4, although back then also there was first-person shooters as well that I played, okay? And what a lot of people like is to watch me play them and be honest about them, but let's be honest, get salty. People like to see me get salty, right? They want to see me kind of freak out a little bit, get frustrated with a connection that's not so good. That's some genuine...
And so, if that's the case, then why is he not playing Street Fighter 5? Especially, and keep in mind, all the complaints he has for 30th anniversary. So why don't we get Street Fighter V at least once a week?
Rage. And people enjoy that, right?
Delicious salt.
And the difference here is genuine rage or something like that is it's still entertaining for me. Even though last night I played Call of Duty for 3 hours. 3 hours. It was a very long session. And some of it was very frustrating to me. I still had fun overall. And some of those matches where I had really great kill death ratio and great score streaks and everything. Plus, I switched over in the middle of the game. I switched from the MAC-10 to the AK-74U, which in my opinion is a really good gun. It's actually much better than the MAC-10. So I'm enjoying that now. And I'm like, wow, you know, this is good. I like that people keep recommending new guns to me, and I try them out and I enjoy them. Like, this is fun, right? So that's why I keep playing it, right? If there was no enjoyment for me or you, obviously I would drop the game and stop playing it. But just because the game causes me a little bit of rage doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying it and I don't want to keep playing it. You know, Street Fighter 4, are you kidding me? That game caused me a ridiculous amount of rage. You remember how bad the connections were a lot of the time playing Street Fighter 4 online many moons ago? It was a pretty bad experience overall. I hope you guys understand why I keep playing the game. And by the way, Black Ops Cold War is the first time in many years that I've played a Call of Duty game consistently. You know, and that's another thing. Like, I actually enjoy having a first-person shooter regularly in my rotation and playing it 1 or 2 times a week.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think he plays... I'm pretty confident, at least the last couple of Call of Duties, if you will. He's played them till the end of the life cycle. He typically plays them at least, well, the Call of Duty life cycle gets shorter and shorter. Let me reword that. He for the last couple of Call of Duties, he's played each Call of Duty up to the social life cycle of a game, which means that Call of Duty life cycles are usually anywhere from like 8 to 10 months, sometimes shorter. Like this one right here is kind of dead now, and it's only been like 4 months. But most of the time, socially, the Call of Duty life cycle is usually like 8 to 10 months, give or take. That's usually about the length that Phil plays it. And then he'll sit around for 4 months and wait for the new one to come out just like everybody else. It's no different. So if he's talking about it from that standpoint, then he's correct. If he's talking about, well, then he's not correct. Either way, he's still off. But does he play it for the full life cycle? Maybe Black Ops 4 was the last game he did that with. Maybe. I'm not sure about World War II. But at least Black Ops 4, I think he played it up till life cycle. Or at least pretty close.
My content. It gives me variety when otherwise, like, oh, Phil's just playing another narrative-based game with a, with a story progression. It's the same thing over and over. Having a first-person shooter in there adds, in my opinion, some very needed variety.
Those Italian meats are naturally salty,
Okay, and I hope that you guys understand that. That's why I'm enjoying it so much, okay?
If you have not subbed yet and you're thinking of doing so, please do so sooner rather than later. If you were thinking of gifting some subs, now would be the time. Because if we wait too long, chances are this sub goal ain't gonna happen. And I would love to do another Viewer's Choice playthrough that's not an RPG. So I certainly hope that you guys will consider subscribing to the channel or gifting subs, okay? I beg all the time.
I mean, you do. And I thought we preferred tips over subs. Now all of a sudden we want subs. And so what? Papa Twitch can go ahead and get its cut. But on top of that, how about we complete the viewer's choice that is already owed before we go ahead and set out for a new one that you're going to push off for another like 3 fucking months? Like, how about we do that? Oh, well, I guess that requires too much common sense.
Now, the one that helps me the most in the short term is tipping. In particular, today, tipping would help me the most because tomorrow's my day off when I have to basically drop a lot of money. I have to go grocery shopping. I have to buy pet supplies. I have to order food. There's a lot of stuff I have to spend money on tomorrow. So
you're telling me over the last 6 days you haven't been saving up for those things? You expect all of that to be raised to basically tonight, or well, basically that streaming day, to make sure you have groceries for the house, you have takeout, or sorry, you can have food ordered in, and what else? Because the only 2 things we really heard about was food. I mean, are they using a food delivery service, or is Catherine the food delivery service? Oof. hurtful. And he's probably paying more to get the food delivered than he actually is paying for the food itself. Amazing. You know, Phil, a lot of those food delivery services that you're using actually have like a loyalty service or a loyalty system. And you like, you know, accumulate points and you get discounts and shit like that. You might want to consider doing it. I'm not trying to help you out or nothing, but whatever.
Tipping me. Those are funds that I can use immediately for those kind of important things. All right? Phil constantly begs for money on his streams. Well, guess what? False. I will, on a pre-stream, I will mention it. Maybe once or twice during gameplay, I'll mention tipping, and that's it. I'm not constantly begging for money. It's completely false. That's not criticism. That's slander. Smash the tips button. Smash it. As hard as you can, as frequently as you can.
Wait, didn't he used to shit on Dr. Disrespect? Or didn't he shit on Dr. Disrespect for saying, join the Champions Club, you know what I'm saying? Hit that sub button, smash that sub button, this, that, and the third, and yet you're doing the exact same thing. Fucking hypocrite. Fucking hypocrite. And if you brought that up to him, his only excuse would be, oh, well, Dr. Disrespect is worth millions and millions of dollars, and so on and so forth, and he doesn't even need that money. I do, so I'm just promoting myself. Oh, so when Dr. Disrespect promotes himself, that's what? That's just him being a greedy bastard. But when Darkside Phil does it, it's because he really needs the help. Okay. Okay, sure. Whatevs. It's not like Phil hasn't made $2 million in his lifetime, right? Or in his lifetime on the internet, I should say. Right? But it's everybody else's fault that he's broke. Gotcha. And then he has to mock other more successful streamers and or YouTubers because they have more. And that's justification. But when everybody was shitting on him fucking for begging for begging for views, right? And all that nonsense, he said, that's bullshit, that's unfair, this is my job, this is how I make my living. I assume Dr. Disrespect works because he needs to work, right? I assume that Ninja keeps streaming because he needs to stream, right? That's how he has to further his brand. He's not going to want to do that forever. He's going to want to expand off to other things. But he is known for streaming, hence the reason why he streams. And so on and so forth. Insert name here for whoever else. You would think that makes sense to most people, right? But for DSP, the money that is being given to them, that could go to someone else who's more, what's the word he used for? Or what's the term he used? More deserving, meaning himself. Well, sure, I guess that makes a whole lot of sense if the circumstances worked out the way he says they do. But of course, they don't.
Smash.
Lesnar Soul, people need to stop justifying. Alright, I'm just going to say this. Stop defending these fuckers, alright? Activision has been doing Call of Duty yearly every fucking year for the past, 12 years. They could very well make the server connections better. They don't care. Because they have a customer base that has just come to accept that the game will run that way. And because people don't demand better, the game does not improve. If this game had direct competition from other first-person shooters who are doing better than Call of Duty, this game would have incentive to actually improve itself. It doesn't have that.
No, it wouldn't. And I can actually prove that. So, one, he's right. A lot of Call of Duty heads, including myself, who purchase the game year in, year out, are contributing to the very problem that we're going through. Granted, it's really not about the individual sale anymore. It's more about the microtransactions and skill-based matchmaking. If you have a really great game, or if you have even a string of good games, I should say, you're more than likely, at least by their logic, to purchase, in-game skins or weapons or whatever the case may be because you're feeling good about what you're doing right now. And then after a few more games, you're still going to feel, you're still going to be on your own tip until that skill-based matchmaking kicks in, and then all of a sudden you're getting fucking hammered out. It's just the ebb and flow of it all. Microtransactions basically make up for 10 people who do microtransactions, or who participate, I should say, with microtransactions, that knocks out 100, 150 people. I can't remember what the actual thing is now. It knocks out 100 people who actually purchase the game. You know what I'm saying? It bombs it all out because the amount of microtransactions and the frequency of those microtransactions. And then by proxy, the person who buys microtransactions and has something cool, if he has friends that are playing the game and they don't have it, they're more than likely to buy it too. And it's just a virus, basically. It spreads. So that's the situation with that. But and as it pertains to investing in their infrastructure, why would they? If people are going to settle for it, then what's the point of even changing it? Darkside Phil is a great example of that. He's saying he needs a new laptop, he needs a new desktop, he needs this, he needs that. He won't buy it himself. And the people still support him for whatever reason. So what incentive does he have to invest in his own infrastructure if people are willing to deal with it? On top of, if there was competition, they would do better. Well, Fortnite was the competition. And what did they decide to do? They decided to try to incorporate that same business practice that Fortnite does into itself. And which is what they did. The Battle Royale, and then pushing microtransactions, because that shit prints money for Epic Games, so why wouldn't Activision do the exact same? So they didn't improve jack shit. They just went ahead and adopted a system that was proven and worked. Because before that, Call of Duty tried to cut into the Battlefield player market and tried to adapt some of that stuff, and it failed miserably, right? Because if you want the Battlefield experience, you go to Battlefield. If you want Call of Duty, you have Call of Duty. But then again, you could also say, and it's fair to say, that there are certain game modes that cater to people who have like that Battlefield type itch, and they could actually play it over on Call of Duty instead of going to Battlefield. And that in Battlefield has slipped up a couple of times too, which really hurt them and their fan base. So it's tit for tat. But no, competition is not. That's not the name of the game when it comes to first-person shooters now. If you're going to come out with an original idea, expect people to basically come through and ravage it and try to absorb it into themselves or into their own thing. That's it. But right now, Fortnite, for whatever you want to think of it, is what holds the title, because look at its earnings compared to everybody else. Call of Duty may be like the top game of the year each and every fucking year, but when you look at what generates money consistently, I think Epic is still there, and that's what Activision wants. And trust me, if Activision thought they had the money to purchase Epic from whoever it is that owns Epic, they would have done it. But clearly they don't. Clearly. The name of the game is money, and Activision has never really given a fuck about its fan base. It gives a fuck about their investors. That's who they give a shit about.
Incentive. Battlefield is all but dead. Halo got delayed. There's nothing else to play right now. Why would they improve? Right? Why? Ladies and gentlemen, nobody has gifted a subscription to the channel yet this week. No!
Oh my god, subs are low today. Where's the contributions, guys? Step it up. What I'm hoping for is the best. I'm hoping that we'll have some generous parties who will step up and contribute and help. Some people are saying, when you say step up, that's offensive. Well, to me, it's not.
We are now at 862.
Wait, when you say step up, that's offensive. Well, to me, it's not. So when people tell you to step up your content, you're known for having bitch fits over that. What makes it any different? How are you going to ask people to step up and give you money so you can keep going when you won't even step up the intensity or the quality of the content that you want them to contribute to so you can keep doing it? What sense does that make? Womp womp.
Subscriptions. 862. Wow, that's a huge jump today. Thank you guys for this support. I really appreciate it. We are at 873 subscriptions. Holy Testicle Tuesday. That is a jump. We went from 820 to 872. Thank you for the support on this pre-stream. Now, we have received 0 tips, but that's okay. People were excited to try to get the hype train going, so I understand why. And I appreciate that very much. Thank you for that. So, and then Westside Phil dropped a 50 subscription bomb.
Whoa! Whoa, there's a whale! A giant whale! That's cool, there's a giant whale.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 941 subscriptions. However, sadly, the sub goal was not hit because I moved it to 100 subs, so we didn't hit it. I'm just kidding. Alright, what was it? I didn't pay attention. It was 941. 941 subscriptions. We went from, wait, 41. That's not right.
And then Storm Burnell said that he ended up hitting 1,005. Jesus Christ. I mean, that Twitch paycheck's going to be great. And then, being the piece of shit that Phil is, where's the tips at? Despite the fact that he said, hit the sub goal so we can do the player's choice event. Or viewer's choice event, I'm sorry. Wow. What a scumbag. What a scumbag. But it is what it is. And even then, I mean, he should, to be, if he was able to reach 1,000 subs, from now on, the sub should always be maintained at 1,000 and up. I remember I had said something that's close to that back in like 2017, if not 2018, that as he hits a new milestone, like, you know what I'm saying, like back in 2017, it was like, what, 500, 550 might have been his peak when it comes to that stuff. As it pertains to sub goals, I said that he needs to gradually move them up, and he kind of did for a little while. But now at this particular point, if he's at 1,000, he should try to maintain 1,000 and keep pushing it up. Now, is there 1,000 people to even get those gifted subs? No. But so what? He doesn't give a shit about that anyway. He only gives a fuck about how big his sub count is, and more importantly, how big the paycheck's going to be when that comes around the following month. So that's all that really matters. And if they're willing to pay for it, that's it. I think, honestly, if he wasn't, like, freshly squeezing the fucking pay pigs on a daily, he would probably be able to do that. But he has to sacrifice something. And it doesn't, and like I said, like many people have said, it doesn't make sense why he needs to beg the way he does and essentially has nothing to show for it. Which means that he has to be feeding it that addiction, that gotcha game addiction. Oh well, we'll find out one day, for sure.
941 subscriptions. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we went from like 820 to 940. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support today. I greatly appreciate that. And of course, not to be undone, thank you One's Bitten for that $11 tip during the break as well. I don't want that to be overshadowed, because remember, the tips, I do need help with tips today, guys. It's help for tomorrow, but thank you very much, Westside Phil. Okay.
I still need your help. Ayúdame, por favor. Es muy importante. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has...
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our next break. And, well, we'll go into our next video number 3. We're going to have a small intermission before that. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in just a second. God damn it, Phil. Greedy bastard. What a greedy bastard.
Absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Tonight in particular...
One can only hope. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the third video that will make up our broadcast, brought to us by Snort Burnell, DSP. Let's see. E begging to buy groceries. Inability to ride a horse. E begging. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's beautiful. All right. Sorry. One more time. I'm trying to be professional about this. Okay. Sorry. Let's get back into. Let's be a professional about this. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. I promise I'm ready. Okay. Oh, snap. Okay. Whew. Let's get it together. Okay. E begging to buy groceries. Oh. Inability to ride a horse. And e-begging is the best job. This was published on January 13th of 2021. The link. The link will be down in the description.
If you guys could tip me, if you are going to contribute, that is the preferred method, because tomorrow is my day off where I have to spend a lot of money on stuff, including grocery shopping, pet supplies, some food, and because of that, tips are appreciated tonight, alright? Did I get my money back for Cyberpunk? No, I did not. I got nothing back at all. Zero. Did not get any contact from Sony. Did not, nothing basically. No contact from Sony, no refund, but I still can't play Cyberpunk. So that's great, isn't it? Phil's a lol cow. Phil is a lol cow.
Westside Phil is back and just dropped another 5-sub bomb. Holy crap, Westside Phil's been going crazy today. Alright, Westside Phil has gifted another 10-sub bomb. Westside Phil is absolutely insane today with gifted subs. No lie, Westside Phil has gifted like 100 or more subs to the channel today, if not more than that. I actually don't know because I lost track. They gifted so many subs to the channel.
Dude, he just turns right to me. He knows.
I'm so sorry, ladies. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, excuse my lack of professionalism. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Okay, so Westside Phil, is that I'm asking, is that one of Only Iced Coffee's like sock accounts, or what's going on with that? Because there was a thing going around for a little while that I think there was somebody either on Detractor Twitter or Kiwi Farms that was trying to keep track of some of Only Iced Coffee's aliases because he bounces around so many of them. Smart way of keeping himself off the radar as best as possible. But I assume none of those names can be traced back to who he is anyway. In any case, I'm just curious if that was one of his aliases, because that sounds like a tactic that Only Iced Coffee would do. Because Golden Colts usually gives bits, and a bunch of them, and he usually does that when Phil is off stream. Let's see here. Who's another contributor? Planet Jeff usually gives large donations anonymously, or under whatever alias or other random names he decides to put for the tip. The smart ones, if you want to call it smart anyway, to give Phil money, usually have different tactics for doing it. So I'm just curious. I am sorry about that outburst. I was really trying hard to keep that together. I'm so sorry. I really am. Oh boy.
Where I am. Look, he's coming after me. He's gonna ram me with that horn. He's gonna shove it right up my ass. Alright, you ready? Enough of this. I've had enough. This is how you do it. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. You guys ready? Do it! Do it! Jump on him! Jump on the goddamn horse! He's right in front of you, stupid! Jump on the horse! I can't jump on the horse. It doesn't work. There's nothing to do. There's no prompt. I'm on top of his ass and it won't let me do it. I don't think you can do it yet.
PW Dubs to me, $1. Have you ridden a horse before? Nope. I've never ridden any animal before. Nope. Nothing like that.
Yeah, it must not be able to do it. There's zero prompt.
Oh man, I hope that unicorn, or if that is a unicorn, I hope it skewers his ass. Anyway, secondly, so you've never ridden a horse. That's fine. There's plenty of people who haven't. But doesn't Phil have like some type of fetish for going to like animal and pet zoo? Well, going to the zoo, but going to petting zoos as well? I would have thought he would have at least, ridden a horse or something at one point in his life, but I don't know. There are people who just like going to look at the animals and stuff. I'm surprised though too, because doesn't Seattle have like a pretty large aquarium? Has he ever been there, or did he go, or was that one of the places they went on their staycation? I feel like they didn't go to that aquarium though. If there's one in Seattle, I feel like they didn't go. It's a shame too. It's a good place. Now I think about it, why didn't this guy him and Panda just buy an aquarium? They should just do that and just own fish. And this way, Cinnamon and Raisin could have gone to people who actually gave a fuck about him. Oh well. And that and Jasper would have something to obsess with if Phil didn't overfeed the fish or underfeed the fish when Panda left his ass. Oh, well, the fish probably could have gotten ripped too. Damn, that's just depressing when you think about it like that.
So, you must not be able to tame the horse yet. I must have to get a new ability or something. Alright, well, maybe I have to come back later. That's kind of lame. But what are you going to do, right? You have to tame it by crouching towards it? I'm crouching towards it. My head is up its ass. My head is up the horse's ass. It doesn't work. Look. Up its ass. Hold on, there is no... It says hold on the mount button. I don't know what the mount button is. He never explained that. I don't know. Look. Can't do anything. Look, why the mount button? Mash all the buttons. No, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Oh my God, sing the song from Titanic. Near, far, wherever you are.
Actually, interestingly enough, in almost every picture that Phil takes with Kat, except for maybe the wedding picture, and it's more of a smirk more than a smile. This idiot don't smile in none of the pictures. Now, there's probably only like 3 or 4 pictures they took together that is circulated that you can actually find on the internet. But he never really smiled in any of them. Maybe, like I said, his wedding picture. Well, it wasn't really their wedding picture. I mean, it was a wedding picture, but it wasn't their wedding picture, like the one like outside or wherever they were when they got married. Other than that, he don't smile. Like, this lady's supposed to be your soulmate and shit. This was supposed to be a new beginning for the two of you and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? She's out here, you know, hair's nice and everything. She got the big smile and shit. Cleavage is all out. And you don't have and he just got this flat ass smile across the face. Not even a smile. He has this flat ass expression. And then, now that I think about it, this fucking bum couldn't even clean himself up to see this woman. Like, you would think the first day she's there, you would at least just clean this up. You know what I mean? Something. I would assume you went to the effort of bathing. You couldn't have shaved too? Just show up, patchy beard and everything, huh? Wow.
Go on. Number 86 will get another shot. Struck out swinging his last time.
Fear. My face looks like a horse and I sleep with an old dude.
So by the way, guys, thank you for the support tonight. Shout out to Nathan Tools, who did all these cheers tonight, and the biggest cheer, 510 bits. Thank you to GrillXPen for the only tip of the night, $4.20. Guys, if you could help me with tips tonight, I would really appreciate it. Like I said, tomorrow's my day off where I know I have to drop some money. And that's what I'm trying to raise tonight. So if you could tip me tonight, that is the preferred method of contribution if you could. No pressure, because nothing is expected. But if you did want to contribute tonight and you tip me, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
The hardcore begging season, and every single person could, oh, that's e-begging. That's not begging. That's advertisement.
Anyway, Electron Chase, anything's possible. I don't want you to rely on crowdfunding, and that's not a very stable livelihood. I had to tell you, this crowdfunding is the most stable livelihood I've ever had in my life. Every job I've had before this was more unstable than this. It's 100% true. Whether it was a mall job, you know, at a food place, whether it was working retail job selling electronics at Best Buy or Circuit City, a life insurance job that I had, working for a bank, which was really, sadly, it was a predatory lender, which I didn't know when I got hired there, but a bank selling mortgages and credit cards, and then being at a helicopter place for 5 years doing helicopter support. None of those things were as stable as this. This is the best job I've ever had.
You're deluding yourself. First off and foremost, the majority of his jobs he lost. He got fired, you know what I'm saying? Or they were about to fire his ass, and he got out just before they could actually get him up and out of there. So, in actuality, he's the reason why he can't hold on to a job. The helicopter company, he, yet again, as the jobs before, he'd been fucking up. He basically set himself up to fail. End of story. And then, if you think about YouTube, well, if you think about YouTube at first, he fucked himself over with asking people to click ads. Then he goes over the blip, does the fucking Nazi jokes and all that bullshit in Dead Space 2, got himself deplatformed and kicked off of that. Then goes to Machinima to only, 6 years later, I think he was on Machinima, until he got himself kicked off of Machinima. So if you think about it, just his internet job has been the most unstable of all of his jobs. It's been completely unstable. He left Twitch the first time over a bit rate because he couldn't have what other people have. Not because they kicked him off, not because it couldn't be lucrative. He left because he couldn't have what other people have. Does any of that sound stable to you? His internet career has been a joke. It's been the most lucrative, without a doubt. It's definitely been the most lucrative, but it certainly hasn't been stable. It has not been stable. And pretty much his whole time on the internet, he was begging. Like, favor, or it was like, rate, and participate, or whatever the case may be. Hey, please watch the playthroughs. Hey, please leave a thumbs up. Please do this. Please do that. That sounds like begging. It sounds like begging. So there is nothing stable about this compared to anything else he did. He talked his way out of those other jobs. He talked his way out of Machinima. His inability to do anything properly is what fucked him out of Curse. Remember that? He was with Curse for like 18 months until they booted his ass up and out. And when they're like, hey, we're sorry we have to let you go, but we got to let you go because supposedly we have all these problems and we're constantly getting all these people reporting you. What was his response to that? Oh, well, why don't we just go ahead and ignore all of those reports and you just go ahead and let me keep doing what I'm doing? If whoever it was who he was talking to at the time, his point of contact, if I had heard someone tell me that, I'd be like, yeah, you're done. You're done. Because you're setting yourself up to fail when you with behavior like that. Oh, don't worry about what I'm doing to fuck up, right? Just go ahead and ignore that and let me just keep going doing what I'm doing. And let the repercussions be damned. Essentially is what he said. And whoever it was that he was talking to had enough common sense to be like, yeah, no, you're not worth that. Bye. Especially when, if you guys, let's go back a little bit further in our pig lore. Excuse me. When he had to beg his audience to get him in contact with Curse, jumps over the Curse, then Fotabi and Laveria Media came knocking and offered him, I don't know what the terms were, because when he was with Curse, it was a 90-10 split. He was going to walk away with 90. I don't know what it was that oh no, I do know what it was that Laveria no, not Laveria, was it Fotabi that he signed up with, or was it Laveria and Fotabi was the subsidiary? I can't remember exactly which one. Now, I think it was Laveria though. When what Laveria offered him was, well, probably the same cut, but they were like, we'll make you a managed partner, just like you were on Machinima, and we'll go after the detractor content. We won't take it down, but we'll monetize it on your behalf so you can get the cut, or so you can get a cut of all that, if not all the revenue from it. And that's what he wanted, because he looked at it as, okay, the managed partnership with all the protection that I wanted, and I can finally start getting paid off that detractor content. I think that's what, if I remember correctly, that's what it was. And then at the end of the day, that turned out to be a honeypot, and he got fucked royally, and it could have been a whole lot worse if it wasn't for what was that, Sons of Kojima. They ended up pulling his ass out of it. Never gave them credit or thanked them for anything, but you know, what are you gonna do? But so that's what led to that situation. So he's jammed himself up over the years quite a bit in a way that no one else ever could. It was his own fault.
It's the most stable, it's the most fun, and I get to be my own boss. Like, if I can do this for the rest of my life, I will do it for the rest of my life, because it's the most stable thing. This year, if I had chosen alright, to stop doing this last year like I was originally going to. Because of COVID, I would have been unemployed this year and I would have lost everything. I would have lost my house, I would have lost all my belongings, I would have lost absolutely everything this year. If I hadn't kept doing this. So, this absolutely is the best thing I've ever done. And the truth of the matter is, this year taught me that relying on crowdfunding is more stable than anything else. It seriously is. Because you guys like the content so much, you support me no matter what. I really appreciate that.
I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life.
All right, let's hold on to that stupid face right there. And then I forgot one more thing. Phil fucked himself over in the algorithm on YouTube by deleting all those videos instead of letting Machinima do its job, which made him which dropped his value with Machinima even more. And he did that in 2015. They dropped his ass in the first quarter of 2017. So 2 years they let him limp along as a managed partner before they finally decided to boot his ass. And you could say, oh well, he could have had a redemption arc in 2016 with KO Gaming. Yeah, he probably could have until he gave up on that. You remember that? When he was doing all the staycation bullshit, yet he was still crying broke. And essentially the staycation money went to him and Panda going on vacation, and he thought KO Gaming was going to blow up crazy off that, what was that called? I always forget that shit. Homefront Revolution. Off that Homefront Revolution video that did so well, he thought, oh, okay, every video is going to be after that. Well, that video and every video afterwards is going to be white hot popular, and I'm back in where I need to be. Let's go ahead and celebrate now. And a couple of videos later, everything started to go back, kind of went back to the way it kind of should have been, right? And he found more and more reasons not to do edited content, and then eventually he just quit and gave up on it. But of course, now he'll tell you, oh, it was blacklisted. That's why. But then when he lost monetization on DSP Gaming, where was the first place he went? He didn't go to King of Hate Vlogs. He went to KO Gaming. And then all of a sudden, monetization was back. All of a sudden, we're not blacklisted no more. All of a sudden, we making money. Not a lot of money, but we're making money. Until DSP Gaming ended up getting monetization, and then we jump back onto that. And how many times has Phil told you about videos being demonetized on DSP Gaming, even up till today? But DSP Gaming was never blacklisted, but supposedly KO Gaming was. Semantics.
And Piss tipped me $1 and says, you say tips aren't mandatory, but you keep asking for them. Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying anyone please go out of your way and contribute. What I'm saying is people were already contributing today. Tons of subs came in today, like a ridiculous amount. I'm very appreciative of that. Tons of cheers came in today. I'm very appreciative of that, but I don't get any benefit from those for about a month to a month and a half. I need help with tips today, and I kept asking. I was like, tomorrow's my day off. I really need help with tips. That's why I keep saying, if you're going to contribute tonight, guys, thank you. You have been. I'm not complaining. Contributions are good, but I really need tips right now.
And that right there is what makes that shit mandatory. And why this idiot don't realize that is beyond me. And it also, when people call him an ungrateful piece of shit, he has the nerve to get upset about that, saying, I'm not ungrateful. I appreciate everything I get. This statement right here you just made contradicts all that. That contradicts all that. You can go ahead and spin it all you want and say, oh, no. Anything you guys give me for bits or tips or subs are going to go right to my paycheck and whatnot. I appreciate that, but I need the tips right now. I need those right now. Oh, well, you said it wasn't mandatory to contribute to you. Oh, it's not. But my day off's tomorrow, and I got bills to pay, and I have groceries to get, and then me and Kat need food. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need food. So, you know, I need these tips. If that doesn't sound ungrateful, I don't know what is. And if that doesn't sound like a mandatory type situation, I don't know what is either. I mean, what are you going to do, Phil? Are you and Kat going to starve if you don't get this tip money? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to imply? What are you saying exactly? Think about it.
You know, you guys appreciate my honesty, my transparency, right? Right now, the tips are going to help me more than anything else. So the fact that people keep subbing...
And Snorpernut brings up another great point. For someone who's averaging about $5,000 or so a month from his little Twitch paycheck, how the fuck... Not little, but you know what I mean. From his Twitch paycheck, how the hell do you not have money to put away for groceries week after week after week? And remember, they go out to buy groceries every week. Not to say that there's a particular problem with that. Most people don't believe in buying in bulk. Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that. But he begs for money for groceries every week. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still not done. We still have our little YouTube paycheck. We got our $2,000 from that. Right? And then we still got our, what? Between $200 and $400 from Patreon? How we broke? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are we struggling like this each and every week? When we're bringing in probably somewhere between $7,000 and $9,000 each and every month. And remember, Twitch gets paid he gets paid from Twitch on like the 15th. And then YouTube, it's somewhere between like the 20th and the 25th. But we're broke every week though. It's just something to think about.
And cheering is like, why do they keep doing that when they know that the tips are going to help better? That's all I'm saying, okay? Fair enough? Alright. Ninstar Root Cheers, am I allowed to ask, how do you know whether or not a stream regular is being impersonated? Is 100, do you have a spreadsheet? Here's the thing. Stream regulars, when they contribute all the time, I see certain information. Like I told you guys, if you tip me, and you're a regular tipper, I'll know the name of the account that you go by in PayPal. Because that's what you named it, and it's familiar to me. You know? And
I know that's the name that you named it. So that means you see some personal information. The same personal information that allegedly he don't get. And if they're going by Ninstar Rune on fucking Patreon, or not Patreon, on PayPal and whatnot, why would they want to divulge their real name? I assume there's like a nickname option or something that they can put there. Or there is, I think he's told us that there's like a name that you can put in randomly or just stay anonymous or whatever. So what information is he talking about? When that tip box comes up, it says the name that you want to use, and then you put in your tip amount and then a message. So what is he seeing? He's clearly seeing something on the back end. And yes, I would assume Phil has, to some degree, memorized people's information. I bet you dollars to donuts on that. For sure. Let's continue. And then he says certain information. He didn't come out and be honest and say, oh, I just see your email address and the name you're given. He didn't say that. He was just like, oh, I see certain information on the back end. Or, well, he says he sees certain information, I should say. Oh, boy.
You guys wouldn't know that. Just because a tip comes in doesn't necessarily mean the name of the PayPal account is the same as the name of the person on the stream, you see? So I get a little bit more info than
if
you
you're
guys
someone
see.
who's troll tipped, then you know that. So what are you talking about? Uh-oh.
That's the thing. If there's a troll, they may say, oh, I'm Ninstar Rune, and Ninstar Rune tips $5. But then if I know the account that Ninstar Rune would usually use to contribute, and I look and I say, that's not the same account, I immediately know it's a troll. It's a troll impersonating them, you see?
That was actually only coincidence that we both said Ninstar Rune. But here's the funny thing. If that's the case and you know it's a troll, then why won't you refund him the money back, or why don't you just block the account? He's not doing that. He's admitted to disputing troll tips, which keeps getting him fucked over, which just keeps fucking him over on the chargebacks. He's setting himself up to fail. He's setting himself up to fail. I will say this. The regulars, he knows who's legit and who's not. Trust me, he has those people have already been exposed. He has their personal information, at least to some degree. He knows who those people are. For the people who are trolling, at the end of the day, he's going to dispute the charge either which way. He's going to lose more often. Apparently, he's been losing the way he bitching and complaining. He's been losing, so do what you got to do, to be honest. But either way, he's going to dispute the charge. He's not refunding people jack shit back. You know what I'm saying? It would be so much easier and he'd save himself so much of a headache if he did so. But he won't because he's greedy.
That's the deal.
That's why DJ Runo got fucking castrated on that Minecraft stream last year. You guys all remember that shit. That shit was fucking amazing. I should actually do a video. I should do a video on that. We'll call it the crucifixion of DJ Runo. The first, well, not the first, one of the great crucifixions of the pig cult. Ooh, that sounds good.
Believe everything you're told on the internet. It's pretty easy to do fraud on the internet these days. It's pretty fucked up, but yeah, it's pretty damned easy. So,
thank you, bad guy, the top tip of the night, and that jumps up to $26 in tips. Thank you guys again. I can only stream for about another half hour. All right. We can maybe hit the halfway goal, that'd be nice. We hit the tips goal for a whole night, that'd be amazing. Thank you for your support.
That's not begging. That's business. And if you don't understand business, you're in the wrong place. I'm just saying. You know, if you've got an issue with that, you're in the wrong place. Every time someone says to me e-begging, you know what that says to me? Salt. Morton's. Morton's. You're so goddamn salty about someone who works hard and puts out content and earns a living doing it that you have to categorize it in a negative way to make yourself feel better about yourself.
Oh, the
But
hater
you're
wants
not.
you.
But you're not making a living doing it. That's why you're eBaying. You're not. If you were just putting out air quotes quality content and people were contributing to it through crowdfunding, then there wouldn't be any need for the begging because people would understand what your situation is. You do this for a living, and they would contribute to it accordingly. That's not what's happening. You have to come up with all these different scenarios and all these different situations to motivate them to contribute to you and to keep contributing to you. That's not crowdfunding. That's not you working hard, in air quotes, right, and putting out a quality product. That's you just e-begging. It's you merely existing and wanting to be paid to exist without any change or any improvements to what you do overall to make your money. Am I wrong about any of that? Because when you look at it, I mean, let me give you an example. It's what Wings does, but Wings is just honest about it. Wings does the exact same thing Phil does. He's just more honest about it. At the end of the day, hey man, I'm only streaming right now to get like 30 or 40 subs so I can get it back up to where I need it to be for that Twitch paycheck to come around. Hey man, I'm just trying to get these donations up so, you know what I'm saying, I have a little bit of stability and whatnot leading into next week. Wings is very transparent about what he does. Is it scumbagish and everything? Absolutely. But he's honest about it. If not, here's the alternative to that.
I think having a set tips goal hurts your stream. It seems like on days you hit your goal, the donations stop coming in. No, that's not how it works. Trust me, it's not how it works. Trust me, people who are going to contribute whether or not I hit the tips goal. Or there are a few people who maybe, I was going to tip, maybe $1 today and I'll hold off till tomorrow because Phil hit the tips goal for today. Possibly. But overall, the tips goal motivates people to try to come together for a common goal. There are days that I can tell you right now distinctly I probably would not have hit the tips goal if I didn't have one. See what I'm saying?
Okay, well, what about the days that you didn't hit the tip goal? What about that? And we had the bitch and complain on Twitter about it. What about that? I'll wait.
The tips goal is a motivating thing. That's why most streamers have goals and stuff set up.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin. I'm not setting up a tips goal. Reason being, the tips goal is kind of it's not necessarily honest. No matter what I raise, it helps. So, that's kind of why I'd rather do a total tips rather than a tips goal, because I think a tips goal is kind of dishonest. I basically need help.
And see, here's the thing about that. I actually remember when he said that. He should have just shut the... I think I said it back then, too. I told him to just shut the fuck up about it at the end of the day. Because it was clear, very distinct, that eventually he was going to have to do tip goals, which is what he ended up doing anyway. And same thing with sub goals, which is what he ended up having to do anyway. Shit, this dude was doing charity streams for bits. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, he's as much of an e-beggar as anybody can be. He has ran the gamut, or the gambit, on anything that could be monetized. He's done it. Without a doubt. This guy has essentially hoard out or monetized the people in his own life. If you're willing to put your fucking underage your allegedly underage girlfriend out there and whatnot in those, what was it? I was watching on a Tekken stream. It was one of the Christmas streams or whatnot. It was one of the Christmas, when Tevin was going over the Christmas videos. And that's when, I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but Panda was, they were in his condo in Connecticut, and Panda was wearing I think she was wearing all black and whatnot, showed a little bit of the curvage or whatever. And she was clearly dancing in front of that camera as clickbait. That shit was as clear as fucking crystal. And Panda's never had no problem with doing that. She definitely liked showing off what she had. He had no problem with monetizing that shit. He didn't have a care in the world about doing that dumb shit. Especially if it could bring people back. And he chopped that video up. Shit, that whole thing was well over an hour. Because there's at least 5 or 6 parts to it. Actually, it might be 10 now that I think about it. Well, let's say, go and watch the Tekken stream on it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But he chopped that shit up all day on that. And I'm sure he made a good chunk of change off it, hence the reason why he kept doing it. Same thing with John and Howard and OJ. He went ahead and monetized them because he made a good amount of money doing it. So if he's willing to sell out the people in his life that he supposedly cares about, you don't think he wouldn't sell himself out? It's funny how he says he's not a shill, he's not a sellout, he's not willing to bend the knee when he's already done that. The very things that supposedly should have been private in his life, he's tried to monetize at one time or another. He did monetize Catherine for a little bit. Until she realized she didn't want to be a piece of meat. Well, until she realized she didn't want to be a piece of meat in that way. And Jesus Christ, he monetized Jasper too. Just like Cinnamon and Raisin. He sat there and used Patreon money to buy plants that ended up dying mere months later. This idiot couldn't even take care of plants by himself. Nothing has value to him outside of what it brings in. Period. Oh, that's hurtful.
And I'm hoping that putting up a tips goal every day will motivate people to tip me. Talk about a lying, dishonest piece of fucking shit. This guy is the absolute bottom of the barrel. He's a blatant fucking liar. Once again, you're being dishonest, and you've shown absolutely no signs of changing. Dishonesty. I hate dishonesty, because I think that's little shit kind of behavior. That's like if you're a real coward, you know, that's how you behave, to try to sneak stuff in behind someone's back and shit, rather than saying it publicly to their face. I hate that. Oh God, that gets to me. It's worse than a pet peeve. That like really pisses me off. Dishonesty for me is a big thing. It's like the ultimate betrayal. You know what I mean?
That's why I was looking. I was like, oh my God, like it's almost 9 o'clock, and I'm looking. I'm like, wow.
You know, the contributions were real low. I was like, damn. Normally with Minecraft they're way higher. That's why I was like, I don't know what's going on tonight. You know what it is? I hate to say it, guys, but it's the tips goal is a double-edged sword. So I had the tips goal earlier today. That urged people to tip me and help me out. They did, which was amazing. But then when I hit the tips goal, oh, that's it. Now it slows down. Oh, Phil hit the goal, so there's no reason to contribute anymore. And it's like, it sucks because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If I don't put a tips goal, then chances are that I probably won't have a lot of incentive for people to tip me. But if I do the tips goal, then when I hit it, it stops. So it's kind of like, you know.
No, I can't go overtime tonight. I already explained to you guys.
Actually, one more thing I'd like to add when it comes to that Minecraft thing. How many projects did he still have on the board that he owed that, what's his name? The Papa Vera never got a chance to go off and finish? There's at least a handful. I would say a hoofful, but, you can't count that high up. So there's at least a handful or so that Phil still owed. There's at least half a dozen. At least half a dozen that was owed. Just in case you guys don't remember, or you guys may have never heard what I'm talking about. Phil had this situation going on where he had a stream viewer and a fan of his named Papa Vera, who was a big Minecraft head. Like that, he really enjoys that shit. He really loves that shit or whatever. Phil came up with an idea Phil didn't come up with this idea. I'm sorry. Someone else in the chat came up with this idea that, hey, if someone is the top tipper for the night, could they have something made in their honor? And Phil at first was resistant to it because he would have to do something. Then Papa Vera came in and was like, we could probably do that. And then Phil went with it. And at first there was small stuff like a sign here or a building named after someone here. Then there was that thing that happened in the Nether, which ended up getting Phil fucked, and that shit was hilarious. And then there were some big projects or whatever that took a lot of time, and Phil was bitching about how much time it was going to take. Now, granted, people were saying back then that, hey, you could just let Papa Vera into your world, no pun intended, and he could actually do all the building for you. But it was free content for Phil, plus you're paying Phil all this money, so he felt like, in air quotes, he was obligated to actually construct the buildings that you want. Problem is Phil don't like Minecraft. He doesn't really know how to play Minecraft or do anything in it, and he's never built anything in his life. So Papa Vera would have to come up with these detailed-oriented posts to basically walk Phil through it. He used to post them on Twitter. And that's how, essentially, all of that stuff got built. The problem is Phil was still doing the Minecraft stream each and every week. Excuse me. Maybe it was even twice a week, but it was at least once a week. And each and every week, if whoever it was that was the top contributor on those streams could have something made, and he started to get backed up. He got backed up to the point where he owed like 9 projects, and he ended up taking a break for a while. And then Papa Vera seemed like he had a moment of clarity, or whatever the case may be, and he stepped away for a little while, and those projects never got done. Then Papa Vera came back for a little while. They worked on a few more to get shit straight, like the giant penis, the Jasper statue, the grinder, even though Phil fucked that up. There's a couple other things that they did, but there was I think the last big project was supposed to be Phil in a vest, and I don't think that ever got made. And I assume that's because Papa Vera had no interest in it, or maybe for all I know, Papa Vera is working on it now. Can't remember, but it was basically the Minecraft streams were completely and totally dependent on Papa Vera showing up and getting these things done, or at least constructing the actual project itself. And he has to do all that on his own. You basically make a request for something, and Papa Vera has to actually sit down, write out what it is, figure out how he's going to do it. Phil, being a fucking cuck, says, oh, it can only be within so many blocks, within a so many block count. So now Papa Vera has to work the numbers out. Then he has to go into a test world and see if it can actually be done. And then he has to go ahead and write out all the steps and then have Phil do it. Then he has to tip Phil or send bits to walk Phil through the instructions. That shit was insane. That shit was insane when you think about all the shit that all of this went through. All because Papa Vera has a love for Phil and a love for Minecraft. And he did all of that for months. And still couldn't get all the projects done because Phil was a lazy cuck and didn't want to do it no more. Even though he had already collected the money from all these people who he owes these projects for. Keep that in mind.
Stuff to do tonight with my wife. I cannot go overtime, so 20 minutes, that's it. Whatever I raised, I've raised. You know, because he just said you're low on tips, you're going to go overtime. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all.
There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No.
My bad. I normally actually cut it a little short on that, but I felt like it fit into our narrative. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into video number 4. Let's go into a small music break, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh, let's see here.
Warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
Very,
One can only hope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the fourth video that will make up our broadcast. Brought to us by some. I'm gonna get together. We're good. Fourth video break make up our broadcast. Brought to us by Burnell, DSP. Okay, here we go. We got this. All right, seeking forgiveness for the flap incident. I am more than a meme. Twitter is essential on his day. What is essential on his days off? This is from January 13th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. Twitter is essential on his day off? On his days off. What? Oh yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one. I can't wait to hear the hot memes off that. That should be good. And I'm more than a meme. No, you're not. You are what you allowed yourself to become. Here we go. See, no little giggles or anything. You know what I'm saying? I was a completely professional pup in a sharp suit on this one. Kinda.
very quickly, I'd just like to say something publicly. There's a large part of the internet out there that is so stupid that to them...
Oh, Phil, Darkside Phil is like the most embarrassing person on the internet.
Because it doesn't matter what I say or do. It doesn't matter what point I make. To them,
I'm just a meme.
Lolcow.
Darkside Phil the lol cow.
and that's one of the most incredibly stupid ways you could go through fucking life, is to completely discount what someone says, or if someone has a point, or if someone, you know what I mean? If someone has something valid to say, because something happened that made them a meme at one point, right?
No. First off, he's done that to other people. He's discounted what other people have said and or done because he feels that they're a muppet, or they're a shill, or they're an idiot, or they're a children's entertainer, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he can go ahead and fuck himself all the way to hell on that. Second thing is, it wasn't just one incident that made Phil a fucking bozo, clown mode piece of fucking shit, pig shit that he is today. It is the accumulation, right, of his constant contributions to bury himself in such a way that I don't think another lolcow can top. I think even there are multiple lolcows that do multiple crazy shit. What is that chick's name? Is it Cecil McFly? She does like lolcow videos. Like she does like lolcow documentary type videos or whatnot. And she's pointed some of them out. There's other people who do it too. But she's a good example. Who goes over lolcow videos, or just exceptional individuals or whatever. And even out of the people who she's covered, Phil, as it pertains to a lolcow, outside of Chris Chan, Darkside Phil outshines all of them. Like I said, with the exception of Chris Chan. Like, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that he has spent his whole life fucking up. And he didn't have a problem with putting the majority of that online. And just because he never got, air quotes, canceled, just because he continued to keep limping along instead of addressing the problem, he chose to run, right, or hide, or have other people fight his battles instead of actually being a responsible person and doing it himself, doesn't mean there aren't consequences. And he's living those consequences now as we speak, and he can't outrun it. That's why he spent most of 2020, and he's probably going to spend all of 2021 trying to jump in there into these hot topics and try to speak his piece or whatever, because he wants to be taken seriously. The problem is, in truth, it's too late. And all of that, ladies and gentlemen, stems from the fact that he got that little piece of that Pro Jared situation, and he can't let it go. It's that he got that one morsel of what it felt like to have thousands of people who don't know who exactly you are, or who don't care, be like, you know what, you made an interesting point, or you know what, that was kind of funny, Phil, or whatever, and he can't let it go. Anything that happens on Twitter, shit, most of the things that happen on the internet are moment by moment, essentially. Don't get me wrong, the internet doesn't forget, but essentially it's moment by moment. And somewhere like Twitter, where, you know what I'm saying, a viral tweet, even though his tweet wasn't viral, a viral tweet happens literally every minute. It doesn't mean anything. It was a hot topic in this one corner of the internet, and a bunch of people who would have laughed at Phil 1 minute or given him pity amongst their friends in a Discord another minute decided to publicly come out and be like, you know what, Phil, you got a point. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what, Phil, that was you know, a good point on you. Because everybody was shitting on Pro Jared before all the information came out. But then once all the information came out, all that shit stopped. That shit dispersed. You know what I'm saying? And Phil wasn't even man enough to say anything else after that. He tried, right? But by then, Pro Jared had already came out with his response, and everybody was like, oh, party's over. And Phil couldn't say nothing else. He was too scared to. If he believed in what he said, he'd have kept going. But he didn't do that. So, end of story on that. But ever since then, he's been going after everybody. Anybody who's ever slighted him, or anybody who's done something that would allow him to comment with the least amount of repercussions, he's going to go after it. And he really believes that's how he's going to build his clout up on Twitter. And he just doesn't understand that shit. No one cares. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? There's a meme on there are a bunch of memes on Twitter, or like not memes, but well, there are memes, but you know what I mean. There are a bunch of GIFs on Twitter that you can insert into shit. Phil uses a couple of them. You're permanently cemented in internet culture in a way that he hasn't even realized yet. Like, I want you to really think about that for a minute. I want you to really take this in. Phil is cemented in internet culture in a way that he doesn't understand. Like, he really doesn't. Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, when some of us here who make, you know, detractor content, when our time is up, or we decide to move on or whatever, and the next group, the next generation of detractors come in, we're on and gone. There is so much content on Phil in so many different places of the internet that Phil can never get taken down, that he can never have washed away, right? That people will be able to essentially make content on him until he dies. And then even after that, and I know that sounds grim, but even after that, people can still make content on him if they want to. You know what I'm saying? And then how deep-seated of a meme he is in internet culture is so deep that yet again, I don't think most people can comprehend it. He can never escape this. He can never clean this up. There is no redemption arc. The only thing he really can do is to keep hoofing forward and try to minimize his mistakes. But even then, he can't even do that. Because if he couldn't do it after 12 years, what makes you think he can do it after 20?
Particular, you know, in recent light, it's funny, though, I'd say the last 6 months, a lot of the times when I'm saying stuff on the internet, okay, I find that people agree with me. I find that people are like, wow, that's true, or whatever. And then you get these people who just won't listen. Oh, wait, isn't that the guy who, you know, jerked off on stream in front of thousands of children? And isn't that the guy who said racist stuff? You know, and you read these things and you're like, aren't you an idiot? Like,
in mid-2016, I accidentally streamed myself masturbating.
because if you read the shit that they say, you're like, so let me get this straight. So because someone had an accident that was incredibly embarrassing, right? Admittedly. If someone did something very stupid many years ago that they fessed up to, publicly admitted was wrong, and apologized for profusely because they feel bad about it, right? Does that mean that this is all that person ever is? And the answer, of course, is no. How many people have we had who had stupid pasts, dumb shit that's happened, right? We forgive that, and they go on to greatness.
Oh, do you?
I mean,
did you forgive Mr. Wiz for all the alleged pedo dumb shit that he was doing back in the day? No. It's funny though too that and Phil had admitted this. He actually had heard the rumors about all of that and he kept it to himself. But then when Mr. Wiz got blown up with all of those, with the Smash community and with other fucking streamers and other people who ended up getting blown up for inappropriate acts and whatever in 2020, then all of a sudden he wanted to fess up and talk all about it. But he, even within that bit of dialogue, right? He admitted that he had heard the rumors too, and he didn't say anything, and he didn't do anything about it. Well, that seems a bit hypocritical. So you're going to call for the dude's head now because everybody's calling for that dude's head. But back in the day, when you supposedly heard these rumors or whatever, or you knew them to be fact or whatever, you weren't brave enough to call him out then. But I thought you were the guy who calls out all the bullshit in the FGC, right? And all of the nonsense. And you weren't the one that, and you weren't scared to speak up, even if it was going to be at your personal deficit. Interesting. And yet again, it's not just one thing or two things that Phil has done to put him in this position. It's the accumulation of it all. And more importantly, he may actually have more supporters amongst the higher ranking or the upper echelon, I should say, of streamers and YouTubers, because Phil is known to those people. The problem is Phil has shitted on those people on more than one occasion. So they don't have to feel bad for him or come to his defense. You know what I'm saying? Most of them don't even know he still does content. That's how irrelevant he is. That's how far he's fallen. Most of those people don't even know that he still does content. And even if they did, he's not on their radar, so what do they care? He's not competition, if he ever really was. So if you do something once, does that automatically define who you are? No. But you've been fucking up for 12 years. Not 12 years ago. You've been fucking up for 12 years. You can't wipe that away. And that's why you are what you are, and that's why you're at where you're at.
Well, and I'm not comparing myself to a great celebrity or actor, but one of the cases that I definitely would compare here is Robert Downey Jr. This is a guy who early on in his acting career was a hot star, and then got caught out for doing some of the most embarrassing, stupid shit a person could possibly do when he was at his lowest, right? He was at his absolute lowest. And now look at him. Now he's riding high. He became the face of the Marvel movies. Everyone respects the guy. Everyone cares about his opinions.
Whoa. First off, you're going to equate yourself to Robert Downey Jr. Okay, let's see how this plays out. So you're talking about someone who has natural talent to the extent that most experts would say that he still hasn't tapped into what his full potential is. Essentially, Robert Downey Jr. hasn't even reached his peak yet, a lot of experts feel. You're talking about someone who had an immense amount of talent early on in his career and whatnot. Some people felt that he squandered it to an extent, made a bunch of mistakes that essentially affected him and whatnot, hit rock bottom, so to speak, got his shit together, cleaned his shit up, had people who still trusted and believed him, because most of the damage he did was to himself, not necessarily, he didn't necessarily burn bridges with other people. And yet, even when he had the opportunity to lean on other people to get him in position, he was like, no, I'll work for it. And so he did, to bring him back to where he's at now. And yet again, a lot of people still feel that he's not where he should be, or we still haven't seen the best of him. You're talking about someone who's born with an amount of intellectual experience and talent and creativity that most people just aren't endowed with, right? And from an acting standpoint, because there's a whole lot to acting. And what I talked to low tier God about that shit. See, maybe he knows something. But you're talking about just someone who's been blessed with gifts that he doesn't know how to utilize because he has so much of it, right? And this is something that experts have said. How the fuck we go from that, right, to Dark Side Phil? How would Dark Side Phil even equate himself onto that level? I mean, I would have been insulted if he said like Jude Law or some shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That dude has fucked up too, but the dude has a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? He has an immense amount of talent. And he's blundered. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he brought himself back. Phil never did that. Someone else had to carry Phil back. On their back. There's a difference. There's a difference. Equating yourself to a fucking celebrity makes no sense in itself. But you wanna use Robert Downey Jr. Jesus Christ. Oh, hurtful. Just hurtful.
Anything. And if you can't compare drugs to showing it on camera. First of all, which is worse? Why don't you actually think about it before you fucking open your dumb fucking mouth, right? Because doing something that's natural that happens, with many, many people in their own homes, all right? I certainly did not, it was not something that was intentional. It was obviously a accident. And also, I'll be honest here, it was happening at a time in my life where things were not going well personally for me, behind the scenes. You know, things were starting to fall apart. I was getting depressed at that time, heavily into depression.
Shit, nothing for you tonight, ex-daughter. Shit, nothing for the wife now. But you're gonna say, what's worse? Oh, you flapping off on a fucking stream in front of kids who was seen, that a clip that's been seen by over 1 million people, if not more, certainly, right? And someone who was fighting their own demons and basically was tearing themselves apart. You want to say what's worse? Clearly, the drug addiction is worse, but yet again, they brought themselves back from it. And Robert Downey Jr. is always gonna have to fight that because he's an addict. You know what I'm saying? He's always gonna have to fight temptation with that shit. You, Phil, are a current addict. You got a drinking problem and you have a gambling problem. Possibly you still have a pill problem. Possibly. And you haven't done anything to rectify any of that. So now who's worse? The person with all of these different addictions and won't do anything to fix them, and then jerked off on stream because he couldn't get it up for his fucking ex-girlfriend, sorry, ex-fiancé, and now who's in a loveless relationship of convenience. Or this guy right here who hit rock bottom, faced his problems, got the shit together, and put himself back in a higher place than he was before because people felt like he was squandering his abilities back in his early days. Now what's worse, Phil? Now what's worse?
Because of problems going on behind the scenes, and it leads to stupid actions, right? It just does, like, really stupid. And, you know, I've fessed up to it a million times. I said it's the dumbest things I've ever done, right? And obviously it's never happened again after that, never will. It's one of the, you know, now I'm happily married, I'm in a much better life position than I was at the time. And
splashed all over my face and my pants. What the fuck? And it was quite tasty. So there you go. My answer.
the thing is that there's that versus, okay, I actively decided to be a druggie, get on drugs, get caught inside of a car with you know, someone with drugs and everything. It's different. Very different situation.
You're telling me Robert Downey Jr. went out of his way to be an addict? He did it on purpose? All right, then let's go by that logic, Phil. Hey, Phil, did your uncle and your aunt also choose to be addicts? Did your cousin Melissa also choose to be an addict and be pulled from her parents because their inability to take care of her? I mean, if you're going to go ahead and say what you're going to say, then I'm going to say what I'm going to say. So if Robert Downey Jr. chose to be an addict, did your uncle and your aunt do the same thing? Did your cousin Melissa choose to be an addict as well? These are questions that I need answers for, if that's the case. I didn't realize that people choose to become addicts. I didn't know that was a thing. Did you choose to become an alcoholic, Phil? Did you choose to become addicted to fucking JPEG, sweaty, half-naked men? It'd be different if you were simping over the women, but clearly you're not doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that I would condone that either, but I mean, whatever. I mean, at least it makes a little bit more sense. You know what I'm saying? But is that really what the situation is, Phil? Did you choose to become an addict too? If Robert Downey Jr. did it, I assume everybody else who's an addict does it too, right? Right, ladies and gentlemen? Apparently, according to DSP logic, that's what the situation is. Did Phil choose to become an addict?
Here's what really happened, all right? You saw me making funny faces on a low-resolution muted camera. That's it. There was no audio. There was no visual of anything disgusting whatsoever. It was all implied, right? If I hadn't fessed up to it, I mean, people would have always said that's what they thought it was, but there would have been no evidence of anything. That's what I mean. Like, it's such a stupid thing. People will act like it's something horrible. Like, oh my God, you know, Phil really did one of the most horrible things. What did I do? It was me making stupid, funny faces with fucked up hair. That's all it was. That's all that was on camera. That's it.
Whining, complaining.
What's dumb is that people blow it up into something that it's not and lie. Oh, it was in front of children. There were no fucking children on the stream. Children don't watch my streams.
Hello, my children. You guys are like 10 years old. All my viewers are children. Everyone knows this.
It's 100% the dumbest thing I will ever do. And I will never, I've already lived it. You understand that? 5 years ago, I lived that moment, and it's done with. The most embarrassing thing that could happen has happened. And I'm never going to have a worse moment than that. I realize that what I say and do matters.
Don't ever speak too soon, because it can always get worse. And the fact that you said that you already fessed up to it, you've already accepted it, but yet right now you're saying it was just me making funny faces with messed up hair, is you still trying to downplay it. So clearly you haven't accepted it yourself. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You're probably in more denial than anybody. Clearly, you're right now ranting about it. Why are you upset about something that you did? And then had the nerve to try to shield yourself. Let's reword that. Then you had the nerve to try to throw Panda into the mix and say it was her fault that you did that. Remember? Because I was having a bad time in my relationship. And so you're essentially throwing Panda in there and saying it was her fault that I jerked off on stream because what? It wasn't like she wasn't willing to mess around with you. This chick wanted to have sex with you and you weren't willing to do it or weren't able. Whichever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, if you crave the feeling of your own hoof, so be it. But that's not her fault. And that's not her, it was her problem, but that's not her fault. That's your fault. Go ahead, man. Take your hoof and keep shining your own whistle if that makes you feel better.
Because people will listen and people will not only follow what I say and believe what I say, but it could lead to other people taking action. I never really understood that when I was a content creator 10 years ago. When I was first in my height of popularity on YouTube, I didn't get that what you say and do has consequences. All right?
The mentality of a 5-year-old.
Well, first off, Snorpinell's right. That sounds like some cult shit. Someone send that shit to LSB if he doesn't already have it. But first off, that's clearly some cult shit. Secondly, you do know what the repercussions, and you do understand, or you did understand, what kind of power and control he has. Because that's how he got out of the Ubisoft situation on the Dark Side Phil YouTube channel, when he ended up catching that false copyright strike. He sent his audience after Ubisoft to one, clarify if they really did it, and if they didn't, to put pressure on them to go to YouTube to let him have his YouTube channel back and to let them know it was a false copyright strike. He has in his Return of the King video, I've gone over it on the Fight Club channel, he laid the whole situation out. So yes, he knows what the fuck what kind of power and influence he had. And that was before the money. So what the fuck is he talking about?
There is an overwhelming amount of dumb fucks out there who all they do is they live the memes. And I hate to say it, that's like the majority of people on the internet are just brain dead stupid. They think that because there's one moment in time that happened, that is the end all be all of a person's existence. Things never change over time. World is black and white. So it doesn't matter what points I make. It doesn't matter how well rounded or minded I am, or if I make, you know what I mean?
Well, Phil's the meme.
You're certainly not well-rounded mentally, so we can scratch that off the board now. Why the fuck are the very people you're looking for validation from, why would you call them idiots? What sense does that make? These are the very people that you are trying to give you a chance, but you would call them idiots, you would call them stupid. Because, what? Someone said, wait, that's the guy who jerked off, and then they showed proof, and they were like, oh, okay. And they came up to the conclusion, well, yeah, thanks, buddy, I'm going to bow out. Because no one wants to be associated with that. It doesn't matter if that's a natural thing or if that's a private thing. You went ahead and broke the boundary on that, and you made it personal. That changes the whole perspective. And if no one wants to give you the time of day for that, they don't have to. That's their choice. You're essentially trying to force people to look past that to see you for what you are, which is so much worse. If people were to go past the sidestep some of the memes that are about Phil, right? If some people were willing to look past that, you'll see him for the absolute disgusting individual he really is. The memes give him, it shields you from the prickliness, which is actually Dark Side Phil, and it gives you something to laugh at. It gives you more of a humorous type of spin. But if you want to get into the more serious aspects of Dark Side Phil, go to the detractor community, go to detractor Twitter, go to Kiwi Farms, go to Reddit, read the shit that he's done. Watch the clips of stuff that he said. That's a whole lot worse than him fucking wanking off in front of a fucking bunch of kids for 3 minutes. To be honest. So the one thing that's kind of shielding him, in air quotes, he's wanting to tear down and wants people to give him a much closer look. And once you get someone with some real influence to scrutinize some of the bullshit, he is royally fucked. If PewDiePie, for example, decided to do a stream on YouTube and was like, hey, we're going to go over Dark Side Phil, the darker side of Dark Side Phil, if you will, right? And we're going to go over some detractor videos that really point out some of his most controversial shit. Your Snort Burnells, your Mr. Huff Stuffs, your Mighty D's, and the list goes on, obviously. You go back over the top 10 worst moments by the artist formerly known as Secret Life or Secret Limited. You go over that nonsense, and to that large of an audience, Phil's fucked. He's proper fucked. You don't want to use PewDiePie? Fair enough. Use Ninja. Use Dr. Disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Use anybody who has some influence or has some pull, not just on YouTube or Twitch, but also on Twitter. Phil's fucked. If he thinks people don't give a fuck about what he has to say now is a problem, let someone sidestep the memes and actually deep dive on his ass and see what that comes about. How many fucking views does that Down the Rabbit Hole with Dark Side Phil have? And he wants people to look past the memes and really deep dive into them? Think about that.
Perhaps the meme.
And so everything that he says, sadly, gets written off because of the meme. I couldn't tell you how many times in 2020, I would be on the internet making a good point, say on Twitter, and people would hit me with that stupid meme, with that bald white guy, and it's like, the person who you hate the most finally makes a valid point, and you're forced to accept it. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a meme that, oh my god, you're someone you really don't like not for a stupid reason, but there's someone you really don't like, and they made a good point, and now you're forced to accept it. That's a meme. I've been hit with that meme probably about 100 times in the last year.
What?
And it's like, why am I the worst person you know? Because of things that were generalized racial comedy I did a decade ago and stopped doing and apologized for. Because of insensitive jokes I made a decade ago and I apologized for. Because of 5 years ago, because of a stupid thing that happened.
Did this tard really say, why am I the worst person you know? I wouldn't say you're not the worst person I know. You're certainly one of the worst people I know. Or I know of. But you're not the worst person I know. But if you want to talk about within this internet culture, yeah, you're a pretty good front runner for one of the worst people out there. For examples that I've already talked about. But you don't see that, though. Well, he knows it. He doesn't want to acknowledge it. Why am I the worst person you know? That right there was a hell of a clip. That is a hell of a clip. I'm going to have to actually find that. Maybe I should construct a DSP fucking soundboard. That's a good one. I wonder if there's actually two really great DSP channels that do clips like that. I wonder if they have it. 100% a Lie, and there's somebody else. I bet you one of the two has that clip. I'll have to check. But yeah, that has to go on a soundboard. That's fucking hilarious. All right, let's continue.
That I owned, and you know what I mean? Like, what exactly is it what is the reason that I'm the most hated guy you know? Like, what are you talking about? And if you actually confront these people with those questions, they'll have no answers. There's no intelligent answer to it. It's just the meme.
Wait.
They're brainless.
There's no answer to it, or there's no intelligent answer to it? You really want to play that game? You have a whole community built around you based on your dumb shit. When has anybody confronted a detractor and said, hey, why do you do content on Dark Side Phil? Like, could you just answer that question for me? I can't think of. I've seen people ask detractors that situation, and laundry list, a link of videos. I'll see you in a couple of days. Next thing you know, that person subbed to their channel. So what is Phil talking about? So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, has happened, but it didn't go the way Phil said it did. So I have no fucking clue what he's talking about. Unless it's someone who's already deep under the pignosis. And even then, they have to concede that, yeah, Phil's done some pretty stupid shit. Just because they want to keep supporting him is on them. But even they acknowledge that Phil's done stupid shit. Okay. That was not the hill to die on, Phil. That really wasn't. I knocked that shit down before you even finished constructing it.
What I want to say again, thank you guys who still allow me to have a fun life, to do what I love for a living, who will actually tune in and care about what we do on stream, understand that these streams are very different from what the brainless morons will spin them into being.
They call me a living meme.
How can you call me a toxic content creator when there are people out there that they literally just sit there and shit on people the whole stream? Everything they do is meant to be defamatory. Everything they meant to do is to be hurtful, to make fun of other people. They have no content for themselves. They don't make gameplay. They don't do reviews. They don't do anything positive or constructive. They just sit there and they pull down their pants and literally take a fucking dump on people. And these people are somehow accepted as valid content creators, but someone like me is told, you're the most toxic guy on the internet. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Can you fucking justify a word you're saying? You're such a dunce. And you have no fucking valid
and that goes back to the other problem. He don't know how to talk to people. He don't know, or back to what John and Howard said. He don't know how to do damage control. You come to Darkside Phil with anything on Twitter, instead of him being like, wait a second, that's not what happened. Let me at least tell you my side of the story. He's like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? And you're a fucking moron for listening to other people. If you took 5 seconds to go ahead and look it up yourself, you would see that wouldn't happen. Bye, idiot. You're not going to get nowhere like that. You're not going to get anywhere like that. All you're doing is reinforcing what people already say about you. And because Phil has conditioned himself that everybody's a hater and everybody's a troll, why the fuck are you even on Twitter looking for validation when you don't trust nobody? That doesn't make any sense to me. You don't trust anybody. You're a fucking paranoid sociopath. Why the fuck would you want to go on Twitter and get validation from people? What he's fishing for is a bunch of people to give him attention, and then hopefully the bigger guys will come in and back him up and give him validation. And that's not working. Because if you can't talk to the air quotes little guys, then how the fuck are you going to hold a conversation with the big guys? Jesus Christ. The reason why the fuck haven't we had that Nick Rekieta Darkside Phil stream yet? Anybody? Anybody? And if I remember correctly, Nick said, hey, we can do it on anybody's channel we want. I don't have to have super chats enabled or anything. I just want to have a conversation. Why the fuck hasn't that conversation happened yet? Anybody? Anybody. Because he's scared of Nick. And he's scared of Nick's intelligence. And he knows Nick's gonna meme on him a little bit, because you know Nick wants to be, he's playful like that, and Phil knows he's not gonna be able to take it. He's not gonna be able to handle it. So there's no point in doing it. That's really what it comes down to. Also, Phil wants the exposure, so he has to go on Nick's show. You know what I'm saying? He has to step into the fucking slaughter pit, basically. And Phil can't run, because if he does, he looks like a coward. Phil can't sidestep questions because Nick won't let him. He doesn't want to walk into what he knows is going to be a bad situation. That's why it's never happened. And I don't think, well, not that I don't think, why haven't we had the pre-recorded shit like we got with Quarter Pounder? Why didn't we get that yet? Oh, because that didn't help Phil at all. And I think Phil's thinking about that too. He's like, fuck. He's like, I can't do the same thing I did with Quarter Pounder, because everybody's going to call me a piggy little bitch, and that probably won't get me anywhere anyway. And that if Phil knows that the majority of people not the majority, a portion of Nick's audience knows who the fuck he is. That's why Phil hasn't walked through that minefield. He knows it's not going to benefit him at all. And the only real exposure he's going to get is if it's live. It has to be live. That nonsense you saw with Quarter Pounder, it fizzled out almost as quickly as that bitch came out. He needs it to be live. And he has to be up there and he has to take every shot that comes to him like a man. He can't do it. He knows he can't do it. I promise you he can't. I promise you he can't. And he's probably dictating all kinds of bullshit to Nick behind the scenes, and Nick's like, this isn't worth my time. I'm not going to sit here and coddle you to have a conversation with you. No one's going to do that except for Quartering. And Quartering only did that so he could have the one-up, so he could one-up fucking Rich. Because Rich was really bitching and complaining about that nonsense until the Quartering was able to get that shit done, or Quarter Pounder. So Phil isn't even smart enough to realize that he was used as a pawn between two other people. Neither one of those guys give a fuck about what he said. Jesus Christ, the Quartering was sick when that interview happened. So he was half drowsy for most of that shit anyway. Whatever. Just to give you some clarification on that. Help.
Anything you're saying, except for referencing 10 moments in 12 years, right? Which I've moved on from, learned from, and don't repeat.
There's the salt. The delicious salt. Is that me? That's the problem? No. That's the internet. That's the dumb fucks of the internet.
I'm so past that point in my life where I was at my lowest. You know, there were 2 points in my life where I feel like I was at my absolute lowest, all right? One point was when I was depressed. This was before I ever did a YouTube video. I was depressed. I hated my job. I hated my life. I didn't feel like anyone loved me truly. And I, you know, at one point was committing, or was considering doing the ultimate awful thing. And you guys know what I'm talking about, all right?
I don't think he was going to do that. Oh, Phil's too much of a coward to do that, to be honest with you. I don't feel like he's not. It takes a man to do some shit like that, and I don't think he's man enough to do that. I don't think he's man enough to do that. And though it is the easy way out, and it is, Phil don't have that in him. He don't have that in him. I think it was probably a nice bit of guilt tripping on his family and shit to make them feel bad, but I don't think he had it in him to do that. I don't think he had it in him at all.
Was, you know, about 13, 14 years ago for me. And thank God that I've never gotten to that point again in my life, and I hope I never do, because my life is so much better now. I can't imagine how I could ever get back to that point. All right?
He doesn't really have...
Now that I think about it, too, that right there is also something that needs to be brought up, because there are two different types of situations when Phil said that he was thinking about taking his life, basically. One was the situation when he was on the Acme medication or whatever, and that started to cause depression. But then there's the situation he had after that. So make sure that you keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? So there's two separate times where he allegedly was thinking about doing this. And even then, I don't remember him saying that he was suicidal when he was on the Acme medication or whatnot. I know he's definitely said something about being depressed, but I don't remember if he said that it made him suicidal. But who could say?
He's trying to do that to get sympathy.
And then the other lowest point of my life was 2016 into the first half of 2017, where behind the scenes my private life was awful. I'm just being honest with all of you. It's awful. It was like I was stressed out working because I didn't know what was going to happen with my I didn't know what was going to happen with my professional life. My finances were falling apart. The income on YouTube was drying up because of trolling activities, and also because YouTube was just fucking everything up. It was just like one of, if not the most stressful times in my life, where I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought I was going to lose everything. I'm tired of being treated like a joke because it's something that's way long in my past that it doesn't matter anymore. Right? Didn't matter when it happened either. But the point I'm making is it's such a footnote in history at this point.
If it didn't matter when it happened, then the only thing that matters is that it did happen. And if that's the case, then shut the fuck up and accept it. If we're going to go off of that logic, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter when it happened. Then the only thing that does matter is that it happened. And if that's the case, you got to deal. You have to deal. Period. Because no one has to give you quarter for that. You know what I'm saying? No one has to feel bad and give you sympathy for that. That's not the name of the game. Sorry. But, you know, not sorry. Don't at me. No one has to feel bad for you on that. You made a decision that made you a fucking meme, and you're always going to be a meme. Live with it. Deal with it. That is the penance that you're going to have to pay for the situation. If you've already accepted it, then move the fuck on. And if people bring it up, then people bring it up. Continue to stand by the point, whatever point that you're trying to make. That's part of your intelligent fucking response to a situation. But you're the one who lets yourself get derailed, and in turn, people keep poking at it. Womp womp.
That literally is the moment that's the most stupid, embarrassing that will ever happen to me. There's no way I could top that. I can't even think of a way to top that.
I can.
So,
I'm not going to say what, but I can think of a way that you could that can be topped. And sooner than later, if not that, something else will happen. Something else will happen. Your dark side fucking Phil. You're terrible at games. You're a terrible person. You're terrible at life decisions. You're terrible at everything. You think you hit rock bottom with the flapping? Oh no. No. This is literally Goutopian Inferno. There are fucking layers to this shit, kiddo. And it can get deeper. Trust. It can get deeper. You're not done yet. You've only scratched the surface. And as long as you refuse to actually get a real job and actually make a living on your own without depending on others, you're susceptible to anything and everything that comes about it. And that's the beautiful part of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what could happen. All you know is something is going to eventually happen.
why the fuck are we still talking about it? Like, it's happened, it's gone. So many people since then have tried to end me, tried to cancel me, tried to get me off of Twitch and YouTube for no reason. What's the reason? What have I ever done to warrant it? And the answer is nothing. There's nothing justified to get me out of anywhere because I don't break any rules. People are just fucking stupid. I would hope that over time, right, people will at least, if they have a brain in their head, will give me a shot and at least watch my stuff once and give it a shot and see what happens, because the people who do seem to like it. But when you're so brainwashed to think one thing, it's probably very hard to break out of that. When you've been memeing something for 5 years, it's probably very hard to break out of that mindset. Oh my god, what's Phil doing? What's he doing right now?
Okay, you're a tard. You're a tard on two fronts. One, he wants new people to overlook the shit that's being said about him to give him a shot. That was the first part of his statement. The second part of his statement is essentially a plea to detractors to give him a shot. So we're still, even after all these years, after all the money that all these people supposedly steal from him on a daily basis, he's still trying to appeal to the detractors to give him a shot. Damn. That's actually kind of pathetic. That's actually really fucking pathetic. The first part is sad, to be honest. And I mean that in a genuine sort of way. The first part of it's kind of sad. The second part is pathetic, though. The second part is pathetic. Like, the lines have been drawn. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen is going to happen. Now, does that mean there's not going to be people who aren't going to give you the benefit of the doubt or whatever? Yeah, so be it, but they're not going to convert over there to you, and there's various reasons for doing that. There's various reasons not to do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody's their own person. They have to come to that on their own. I don't think in the history of detractors, I don't think there's been one detractor who's decided to turn their back on, not turn their back on, let's not let it say that. I'm not trying to, I don't want to make people sound like they're Benedict Arnold and shit. I've never heard of a detractor stop detracting and go over the Phil side and try to use their platform to big up him or to try to paint Phil in a positive light. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I don't think I've ever heard that. Now, that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. or it wasn't implied that it was going to happen. I just don't think I've heard that. There have been reasonable detractors out there. Well, there are reasonable detractors out there, I should say. And there have been plenty of reasonable ones who came before us. But I've never heard one who have decided, you know what, we've just gone too far. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to give Phil a real shot and go over there and try to do. And I'm Team Phil now, or I'm Team Hate, or whatever. I've never heard that. And I would surmise that'll never happen. I would surmise that'll never happen. Let me think on that, though.
I'm obviously slapping 10-year-old children. That's what I do behind the scenes, right? You listed idiots. I'm busy slapping kids, so, you know, I can't talk
She was
to you
11,
guys
by
right
the
now.
way.
Sorry, you gotta hold off while I slap some children in the behind the scenes. Alright.
That's terrible. That's such a terrible thing.
Yesterday I received an anonymous email from someone. And the email, I'll just paraphrase it. The email said as follows. Phil, I'm really
going to
happy.
paraphrase it. Read it word for word. And are you going to cry over it too, like you did during one of the vest celebrations? About about how bad your life was and what everything, and it's been so tough, and you've gone through all this stress over the years and shit? Are you going to do that? I'd love to hear that again. I'd love to hear that.
You actually said what you said on your streams, and you shut down that discussion about Derek. Because I actually, just on curiosity's sake, after hearing you mention it, tuned into one of your restreamer streams. They literally were egging on their viewers to harass Derek during his birthday and tell him to kill himself.
What? What?
This was actively going on their stream. This is what they felt was meaningful content for people on the internet. To egg on their viewers to tell your viewer during his birthday that he should go kill himself.
What?
And after I...
No. Okay. No, okay. But no, that didn't happen. If he's talking about what I think he's talking about, I was listening to that stream in the background. That didn't happen. All right, let's continue hearing the lie. I got to hear this. I got to hear this.
I saw that, I couldn't believe it because I thought that, you were over-exaggerating. But then when I saw that, I understood what you were getting at, and I'm very happy you did that because hopefully he had a good birthday and didn't get harassed by a bunch of scumbags. Okay? That's why I say what I say and I do what I do, because this is fucked up stuff. Okay? And I'm not going to put up with it. I'm just not. That is not normal human behavior. That is called mental illness.
Oh my god.
I like supporting local business. I don't necessarily like ordering from big chains. I like supporting local businesses, especially now during the pandemic, trying to keep them afloat because they're making very little money because no one can sit in and eat anymore.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what he said was a blatant lie about that whole restreamer telling Derek to kill himself thing. That's a blatant lie. Secondly, that's not how normal human beings act. That's mental illness. Coming from someone who shows all of the signs of mental illness. For someone who conducts himself, his community, his streams and everything like someone who has deep-seated fucking problems, right, that need to be worked out. And because he's too scared, too stupid, and too ignorant to his own situation and that of the world around him, only feeds into the mental illness to make it worse. But he wants to call other people mentally ill. And supposedly we had this anonymous person say that I went over here and checked and they were doing it, and that's pretty disgusting and whatnot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't there some shit going around about death threats being levied as well against Phil? So, wait a second. So, let's try to paint this picture a little bit. So, we want more credibility on Twitter. Supposedly they turned Derek into a living meme, and then then a restreamer said he needs had his audience tell Derek to go kill himself, and then Phil gets supposedly sent a death threat later on. Huh? When does that death threat thing happen? Okay, we're on video number 4. We're towards the end actually of video number 4. Video 5, no. Oh, That's in the next broadcast. I don't live in fear. I'm preparing for an extreme case. Getting death threats after a slow night. Okay, never mind. So that's the next broadcast. We're going to tackle that. Okay. Okay. If you were seeing things the way that I'm kind of seeing them, I am seeing them. This is merely the setup for what ends up coming later. Using someone else as a supposed shield who's supposedly being threatened and whatever, and then turn the whole situation into something that happens that's supposedly going to happen to you. That's kind of what it looks like he did. Just like how he used to use Sidella as an excuse for bullshit too. And Sidella is actually coming up on the last video. Yeah, that looks like a setup punch type situation, to be honest with me. That sounds like a setup punch. Okay, all right. Sorry. Let's go ahead and continue. But that's my thoughts on that.
More. So we ordered from a local Thai restaurant, and it was very good. I ended up getting this eggplant dish, which I've never had eggplant other than having it in an Italian meal. And I've had it various different ways. You can have eggplant parmesan, you can have eggplant on a pizza, I've had eggplant rollatini. But this was different. This was eggplant with mixed veggies like peppers and green onions and stuff like that. And then also with some pork.
I loved red meat, alright? Cannibalism.
And it was very good. I was very pleased. I was like, wow, I've never had anything like this before. And I was very happy about that. So, of course, now people will be like, well, Phil spent money. Yes, I do. You're right. On my day off, I do spend money. You may not be aware of this, but on my actual days off, I spend some money. I was telling you guys this all week when I asked you if you could tip me because it would help me out on my day off because I need to spend some money. I also I went grocery shopping, and also I had to buy pet supplies for Jasper. I actually spent some money yesterday. You know,
all right, fair enough. But you ordering out isn't essential. You getting groceries, you buying food for Jasper are. That's the difference. That's the part that you're not getting. You doing takeout or you ordering in takeout isn't essential. Matter of fact, since they were already out running around, ladies and gentlemen, why couldn't they have called the place and then gone by there to pick it up? Or what do they call it? Curbside or whatever? Why not do that? Why they even bother paying the extra money to get the shit delivered to them? Think about it.
Playing games on the streams, but I actually had to spend money on my day off, you know, because people will think that this is some kind of a revelation. Oh my God, Phil spent money. Yeah, because it's really your business, right?
It's very, very salty.
Anyway, Westside Phil did a 100-bit cheer. He says, you're burnt out. Take a break from Twitter. It's a toxic platform. Take a break and reconnect with yourself and your family. Well, what makes you think I didn't? Like, I spent the majority of yesterday with my family. Why do you think I was? Like, what do you think I was doing? Right? I was with my family the whole day. Yes, every once in a while I would tweet something. It wasn't the focus of my day, though. You might realize this, guys. I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up. So in a day, there's 24 hours. All right? Within those 24 hours, if you do the math, you got to do the math now. 24 times 60. All right? There's a lot of minutes in a day. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of minutes in a day. All right? Just because someone tweeted a few times in a day does not mean they spent their whole day on Twitter reading it. In fact, if I tweet and then I go do stuff and I come back a bit later and I read the hilariously stupid, uneducated, dunce-like responses that I get, and then I respond to the dunces and say, ha-ha. That's actually what I respond to. Ha-ha. That's my response. But that's not what I did all day.
Tangy's Asian style aioli did a 100-bit cheer asking if did I ever have a stroke because the right side of my face doesn't move when I talk. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not something to joke about.
Diaperman cheers. If you had a debilitating stroke, would you still be wheeled on stream to support your family?
Yeah, he would, because he wouldn't have any choice. And one side of his face is incredibly droopy compared to the other. He can't deny that. As for Twitter, trust me, he stay on Twitter. Like, he stays on Twitter. Because whatever it is that they supposedly do and whatnot doesn't necessarily require him not to look at his phone. Because Catherine's probably doing the majority of the driving anyway. And all he has to do is walk. And though I don't have faith that he can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, I do have faith that he can look at his phone as he's walking. And if he's fortunate, Catherine is hoof holding him on that so he don't trip over. So I don't think that's too much of a fucking stretch. Haha.
I had a debilitating stroke, exactly. What would I do on stream? If it was debilitating, I couldn't play games. I probably could barely talk. I know because I knew someone who had a debilitating stroke. And we did hang out with him still, even though he could barely play video games or whatever. It was fucked up. It took him about, I'd say, 2 to 3 years to fully kind of recover from the stroke and get back to where he was before the stroke.
So if I had a debilitating stroke, I wouldn't be able to play video games. I wouldn't be able to talk. But I do know what a debilitating stroke is because someone we knew had one, and we used to go over there and hang out with him. He couldn't play video games, but you also said you wouldn't be able to talk. So how was he communicating with you, Phil? You want to take a minute to think about what you said there for a minute? If you couldn't play video games and you couldn't talk, you guys went to hang out with someone else who had a stroke, a debilitating stroke, and did what? I'm just saying. I'm just going off his logic. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off of his logic.
Certainly I would miss being on stream, and maybe what I would do is go on stream just to talk with you guys every once in a while about topics, but I wouldn't be able to play games and stuff depending on how bad the stroke is. By the way, I don't know what the hell the question is about. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you asking me about a debilitating stroke? What does that have to do with my streams?
Well, if it's a debilitating stroke, I would assume it's pretty fucking bad. So I guess you won't be doing any talking. Which means I guess you're lying about your friend there because I guess you went over there to see someone who couldn't move and couldn't speak. And you said you went over there to hang out with him. And this dude is not family or anything, so you don't have any emotional attachment to him and or a reason to actually stay there. I could see you going by there, maybe doing well wishes, maybe talking to their family or something. I know. I'm digging into this a little, giving this a little bit too much thought. But somebody needs to, because obviously what he's saying doesn't make sense. But whatever, though.
Whose stream are you watching right now, Diaper Man?
Asleen X Cheer said, I've done my face pulls for today. It's important to do my face pulls. Oh, okay, hold on. Do my face pulls. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Thank you. I almost forgot to do my face pulls. What the fuck is he talking about? There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict.
Oh, yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sadly, we are at the 5th and last video that will make up our broadcast. I know, it's hurtful. It's very, very hurtful. Give me a second to throw some music on, and then we will reconvene for final thoughts. Well, sorry, we will reconvene for this video. Then I'll give you final thoughts and everything after that. I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh, let's see, which one did we use? Guess this one.
See right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
No, we did not get the vest earlier today, Seraph Low. But, I mean, that was...
Failure is pretty hard to deal with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the fifth and final video that will make up our broadcast, brought to us by Snort Burnell, DSP. Let's see here. Demonstrating his mastery in Call of Gout. Call of Gouty. I'm sorry. Sidella is not a well-received topic. Yeah, you know how he don't like the North American apes. And, Sidella, I mean. His mother, on the other hand, is a different story. And, let's see. And, let's see, $117 in tips. This was published on January 14th of 2021. The link will be down in the description. It's been a long time since anybody brought Sidella up. I can't remember the last time I went and got that guy some WD-40. Next time I pay a visit, I'll have to drop that off. All right, here we go.
That was partially my fault. Tech difficulties were I couldn't get my headphones to work for a good 45 minutes just to find out if something is fucking stupid. It's somehow I managed to turn the knob and mute it, which I didn't even know I could do because it was on a floor over there. I don't even know how I did it. It was basically, my whole first stream was kind of thrown awry. I still did good. I still made almost $70 in tips, so I'm not complaining. But it was stupid because, you know, it broke the momentum of the stream up. It was like a good hour and a half of no gameplay. So, what are you going to do, right? So, no, we did not have the tips go earlier today. Jay Hale to me $25 to start the night. Let's get that over here. Taking B. Thank you to Jay Hale for yet another $25 tip. This is very much appreciated, Jay Hale. All these tips tonight, man. Thank you so much. So that gets us up to $54 in tips, which means it's glasses time. So Jacqueline's tipped me $26. So that's $26 added to the 64. Gets us to $90 in tips, guys. Then Jay Hale tipped another $5. So don't forget to tell the man himself, Derek, happy birthday. Oh, indeed I did. I told him it on Monday, and he actually sent me a picture of his cake and the food he ate for dinner on Twitter. Man, did it look like he had a good feast there for his birthday. So, awesome. This is our room cheers. I'm sorry the stream is slow tonight. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, there he is. His PW Dubs dropped $1,000 on his stream earlier today. That's great. It's good that PW Dubs is spreading the love. Maybe tonight he'll drop maybe some 10K chunks. We'll see how things go on tonight's stream with PW Dubs. We all know he won the Powerball, right?
I need that money to pay my WWE Champions bills.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. He sounded real salty right there. He sound real salty about that. Oh shit! And they did have like a really big Powerball winner that week too, didn't they? Like, yikes! I would shudder to imagine what a Dark Side Phil fan would do if they won the lottery and how much money they would give Phil out of that lottery winning. Because you know they would. The question is, would they do it publicly to try to shame the detractors, or would they do it in private so Phil can hide? So Phil can hide the amount altogether, so he doesn't have to try to claim it on his taxes. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Something to think about. Because Phil wouldn't be able to dispute that. It's right there. It's live. Everybody has it clipped. He's going to have to pay the taxes. And you know he wouldn't want to if he didn't have to. Something to think about. Something to think about.
He had time to fire a sniper.
He ran right into that. He deserved that one. You deserve that death. For sure. I'm sure that'll be one of many, but you deserve that.
Shot, reload and fire again before I could throw a grenade. It wouldn't let me release the grenade. What is that allows them to do that? To reload a sniper rifle so fast? In real life, sniper rifles don't reload that fast, ladies and gentlemen. This is so ridiculous. What's hilarious, somebody said, well, burst fire rifles will not be... Whoa! He said burst fire rifles melt people with one burst. That's obviously not true. I'm shooting them with 2 to 3 bursts and they don't go down. I think that's the major problem with Call of Duty at this point, is they turn everyone into a Terminator who can survive so many bullets.
Basically, here's a whining baby.
I want this game to be realistic. You do realize Call of Duty started out realistic, right? The original Call of Duty games were pretty much a military simulator. They 100% were. It's only over the years that they turned it into a fucking kiddie action game, which is really what it's become now. Oh, look at me with my fucking no scope. Look at this. It's stupid. It's not what it was supposed to be. What? Again?
I mean, not only was he too slow to aim or to shoot, he was just too slow to take cover. The moment he saw the reflection in that sniper's scope, he should have immediately gone prone. He should have immediately gone prone. Trying to engage that was a bad idea.
He fired, reloaded, and immediately fired again. What sniper rifle on planet Earth can do that? What sniper rifle can fire twice that fast? That's faster than the burst of a burst rifle. What the fuck is going on with this stupid game?
But I'll be honest, all I can really taste is salt.
It's bullshit, because you see that's quickscope. That quickscoping is nonsense. When you see the flash, you can tell he's not carefully aiming his shot. He's just going zoop, zoop, shot, fire, fire, fire. I couldn't get a single kill. I shot that guy in the window in the face. As he jumped through the window, I changed my aim to go right into his body at least 5 to 6 times. Nobody dies. Trash gameplay. That should have been a double kill is what it should have been. Not me dying, a double kill on him.
With this salt flavor. Ugh.
He ran! This is so ridiculously stupid. He got lucky. They shot him 6 times in the groin. He doesn't die from that. Then he jumps in like a kangaroo and gets a kill. What? See, quickscope. It's bullshit. He's not playing the fucking game. He's cheating. Quickscoping should be fucking banned. It seriously should be. How are you gonna tell me?
His reactions to his deaths are delayed too. You guys notice that? I mean, obviously, Burnell is slowing down the death scene and then leading into his reaction. But there's actually a delay in his reactions as well. That's hilarious. Holy shit! Is that supposed to get stuck in the Gouty matrix? God damn, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. What an exceptional individual. I swear he's shooting at shit that's not there. He's really not. He said he shot that guy 6 times in the groin, but we clearly see that dude pull his best Michael Jordan impression going over the barrel of his gun and then laid him out. I don't understand. I just don't. There's phantom detractors everywhere.
That's legit gameplay. He's just jumping and then fire. Insta killing over and over. How is that legit gameplay, dude?
Oniony, salty aftertaste in my mouth.
What? Oh, another one! I got one and another dude slid in. Another one slid in.
Woo! Right up my ass, baby. I love it. Whoa! I love that. Pain is pleasure.
El Rey Miguel just cheered. I said King Michael versus Derek and Sedella in a steel cage match. Alright, Sedella has not been here in a year. Like, why do you idiots obsess on this shit? And I mean that. You gotta stop with this shit. I'm not gonna put people obsessing over people. Like, fucking, like, you latch onto people. You realize that's messed up in the head that you do that, right? Normal people don't do that. I'm not gonna talk about someone who hasn't been here for like a year. So fucking break the fuck up. Yeah, Sedella was banned.
Yeah, that's probably not true. I'm sure he's been on a sock or something. But then how would Phil know that too? Whatever. I don't know how long Seidella's been gone from that. Some people said that he had actually woken the fuck up. He was speaking to some detractors for a while. I don't know. It's whatever. To be honest, as it pertains to that like Seidella's got enough shit hanging over his head. He's got enough shit hanging over his head, so it's kind of whatever with it. But I swore though they said like 6 months ago someone caught him. Well, not caught him, but someone saw Seidel on one of his many sock accounts, and trust me, he has a few. He has a few. But the last major blow up that Phil had over Seidella was when Phil was beefing with what was that guy's name? Was it Jake Likes Cats? When he called him out on Seidella being on a sock account and ban evading, and Phil was like, "It's all your fault. You brought it up." And so on and so forth, which is nice that Phil is willing to allow people to ban evade if they give him money. So that's good to know. It's nice to know some things don't change.
Ago or longer. That's what I mean. That's what these idiots do. They obsess. They're not right in the head. You talk about shit of someone who hasn't been around in a million years. The fuck's your problem? Obsession is not fucking normal human behavior. It is mental illness. You cannot.
Oh, well, since it's mental illness, so you holding on to that beef with Pro Jarrett for like 3 to 5 years, you holding on to that beef with Gutex and Mike Ross for all those years, you holding on to that fucking thing with your being a disgruntled asshole over Machinima, the helicopter company. Let's see, who else? You holding on to that bullshit with Panda. Like, you've been married for what, almost 2 years. Let that girl go. She didn't do shit to you. And well, yeah, over 2 years, actually. No, she got there in 2018. They didn't get married till 2019. Sorry, so almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. They got married in 2019. So their wedding anniversary will be coming up, well, a few months out. It's in April. But you know what I mean. What about you obsessing over all that stuff? That's a lot of shit to be obsessed about, and that's a lot of shit that a mature adult doesn't need to think about. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep talking about obsessing? We can do that. How about your situation with John and Howard? Why haven't you called them yet and been like, hey, you guys don't, I'm not calling you to be part of my content. I'm not calling you guys to do a reunion stream with me or nothing like that. I'd like to speak on some of the grievances or some of the issues that we have between each other and see if we can try to smooth it out and salvage something. And if we can't salvage anything, fair enough, then, you know, we can all go our separate ways. But let's at least get it all out there now. When are you going to be mad enough to do that? No, you're not going to do that. But yet when we do retrospectives, you keep hinting at John. If that's not obsessive, I don't know what is. You want me to keep going? I can. And that's well-known fact. But you want to keep talking about this mental illness thing, though. Okay.
People love me.
Oh my god, he's drinking gin.
Oh my god.
I think I'm gonna go back to the other HDMI port. I think this may be giving me more motion blur because I'm in the other port of my TV. I don't think it's gonna show you guys anything.
Isn't this the same idiot who sat there and had a problem with his PS5 controller and said it was bugged or it was broken or whatever the case may be, only to get someone else to buy him a new controller, and then he found out it was like some type of functionality or there was some type of setting on the controller that he could change and it would allow it to work like normal again? You guys remember that? I remember that. Pepper's Farm remembers that. But that wasn't a scam or nothing at all either, right? Alright, just wondering.
I think I'm seeing more motion blur. I think it might be like a lower grade HDMI port or something. It's not port 1.
And the man of orange sent me $1.30, says, do you have a Sonichu medallion? No, you've got your lolcows confused. That's Chris Chandler. That's not me. That's someone completely different. You're totally on the wrong. I mean, you wouldn't even find gameplay like this on a Chris Chandler session. All right, you got to go to the right session if you want to see that kind of content. All right, and Phil's the lolcow of the gaming community.
Lolcow. Garbage gameplay. Oh no!
That by far was probably one of the worst spray and praise I've ever seen in my life. That was really, really bad.
Come on, dude! This is ridiculous! I just spawned! Man! I just want to my gun, man! Right.
Salt, 90% of the time.
What the fuck is going on? How did they all appear? They spawn behind again. I was holding it down, I get 2 good kills, and then they start spawning behind me and jumping over me. He didn't die.
I don't know what
seriously?
2 good kills he's talking about, but yeah, that other team is definitely spawn flipping them. They are definitely spawn flipping them. But if his team is not established or not putting up any type of defense, then they can just keep going back and forth. And if you look at what side Phil keeps being flipped on, you can tell very clearly that there's at least one, there's probably on the opposite team, I should say, there's at least one person in the house and there's probably 2 people coming up on the flank, which is causing the spawns to flip. And when they end up flipping the spawns, there's on the opposite side, there's 1 person in the house and there's 2 more people on the flanks. So that's probably why he's getting murdered the way he is. Oh wow, that's hurtful. Funny, but hurtful.
God, that's ridiculous. He didn't fucking die. And then I get executed from behind by an ass. By a big flagellating ass. How does an ass flagellate? I have no idea. They have to be pretty big, I guess. I opened, the laser was on his body. I full auto into his body, and the game claims not a single bullet hit him. What do you want me to do about that? I can't do anything. The game sucks. What? That was a chopper above me killing me. Like, what the fuck? Dude, what a waste of my time this was. It's pretty apparent the connection's terrible for me.
There's the salt. The delicious salt.
Fight back, damn it. That made no sense at all. That made absolutely no sense. There's no way. I was behind cover and I shot him in the face and neither registered. The cover didn't matter and the fucking shot to his face didn't matter either. This fucking garbage. Like I said, the connection's bad. The connection is fucking bad.
Oh, Phil actually is a really toxic person, so we're just gonna keep saying, why am I toxic? Because it's a meme.
He didn't die. 6 bullets, guys. 6 bullets. Every single one connected. Game claims he survived. But yeah, I die instantly. You see what I'm saying about this fucking game, how stupid it is? I hit him with 6 bullets, he didn't die. Then he hit me with 1 bullet and I died. So why is it like that? This is ridiculous.
I give up. I tap out.
Yeah, he probably should, because I only saw 2 confirmed hits on Phil's part. I saw him hit that guy twice. I don't know where the other 4 bullets went, but I saw 2 confirmed hits.
I've had enough. Alright, guys. I think that's enough for me. You don't want to see me, crying like a fucking baby here. Oh. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me. It's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. That I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.
Well, there we go on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of that. Yikes! I feel like it went by just so fast. That's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me a minute to straighten everything up, and we will reconvene for final thoughts, and I will let you guys go on with your day and whatnot. I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and close up proper. So, let's see here. Confusing cat with Jasper. Funny stuff. Streams are free. No paywall here, if you say so. No refunds on that was the Cyberpunk situation. Eventually, he ends up getting it. Yet again, he played the system. He took advantage of a situation, which you could say a lot of people did. Why he's bitching about it? Don't know. Why he thought it was going to be instantaneous? No clue. That's pig logic there, or DSP logic, if you will. Let's see here. Reason to keep playing COD despite all the whining. Yeah, you're not bringing anything to the table, and your rage is entertaining in small bites when it's cut up in a very when it's cut to be funny. If you watch the raw product, it's garbage, and it just comes across. He comes across as just some old man who lacked the inability to do anything right and learn from his mistakes, which is very clear given all the mistakes he's already made. Let's see, begging for tips. Begging for tips and getting around 176 subs. Good luck on that. Can't wait for that shit to drop next month, which would be this month, actually. Let's see here. begging to buy groceries, an inability to ride a horse. Well, you got to do what you got to do, I suppose. And begging is the best job ever. I've already said on how unstable this whole internet thing has been for him over the years, and if it wasn't for the fact that other people had to carry him kicking and screaming, essentially, he would have fell off a long time ago. And even now, he's still at the whims of other people. There's nothing that he's doing that's making him successful. It's all on the benefits. Sorry, it's all at the... He is a benefactor of other people's goodwill, essentially. End of story. Seeking forgiveness for the flapping, it's never going to happen. I am more than a meme. No, you certainly are not. And if people look past the meme aspect, they'd see you for the absolute garbage individual you are, and you don't want that. And Twitch is essential on his day off. Yeah, apparently, just like the gin at night. And let's see, demonstrating his mastery in Call of Gouty. Well, it is what it is. Sidella is not a well-received topic. I mean, Sidella ain't kind of shit the bed as it pertains to DSP's audience anyway, because he ain't said and done a bunch of stupid racist shit, as well as amongst other things that kind of made him not well received. It is what it was. And more importantly, Phil still holds resentment against Sidella and Swaggins theoretically, because they were the ones who ran off Tut. If you guys remember the Tutmosa saga, those were the two perpetrators for that. So he actually may hold some low-key resentment against Sidella, so someone should probably let him know that. And $117 in tips. I mean, good luck on that. As long as he can make his mortgage payments on time, right, guys? In any case, ladies and gentlemen, that's the situation with that. I think that this year the desperation has been pungent, to say the very least. I'm anxious to see how the rest of the year goes on, and we hope to be there for you with all of that as it happens. I will see you guys for the next one, as we're still trying to catch up. It's been fun, though, to be honest. It's a lot, and I know it feels like it's a long period of time, but that's a lot to take in in what would actually be considered a really short period of time, give or take. And doing it in this format, you really get a better look at the story in some degree, because you get to see the carryover day after day. Wow, good shit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it, and I will catch you guys for the next one, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner than later. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Snort Report. This is DSP News, all brought to you by Snortbucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company, and GTG Network and Productions, and the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. I've been your host / anchor. Take care of yourself, guys. I'll see you on the next one.